All right, and I hope we're live and we're sounding good. Let me check over on YouTube that we're doing okay here. We're on early tonight. Let's go to my live, see if I'm there, and see how we sound. Okay, we've got good sound. Excellent. So we're here to just have some fun and show some documents and invite people up to talk. There's a lot going on, so the title IEEE Human Networks of the Future. They're bringing out new standards and stuff, so I thought we could take a look at those. But right now, I got a few things to show you. Paste. There we go. So there's the link. So right now we're just looking at this is the IEEE transactions on biomedical engineering. This is talking about the differences in radio wave, human body communication. Here we have radio wave communication using a Bluetooth signal, a snooping device. That's within 5 meters. Then we have here human body communication, which can be done within 15 centimeters of the human body. Minimal leakage away from device. No signal snooped because the device can't do it at that distance. It just has to get too close. This is a flashing chart that really shows the differences in total power, meters per watt, I think, and data rate megabits per second. So they can, it's hard to look at this, but anyways, onward. On the safety of human body communication. Well, this is a electrical field on the human body here, showing you the differences in it, in the different voltages or different megavolts, going from 50 kilowatts up to 400 megavolts. So they're showing you the thermal difference, it looks like. I can't be sure on that. Safety unit is in the red there. Human body communication, HBC, utilizes the human body as a communication medium between devices on or around the body. The increased energy efficiency and enhanced physical security due to signal confinement makes HBC a promising alternative to radio wave-based communications like Bluetooth. However, HBC requires tiny amounts of electrical signal to be present through the human body, to be sent through the human body. This calls for a thorough analysis of the safety aspect of HBC. This paper provides a safety analysis of the two most popular modalities of HBC, because there are many, namely capacitive and galvanic HBC. For the first time, circuit and finite elements method, FEM, based simulations are carried out to determine the current density, electrical field, magnetic field intensities from human body communication at different frequencies and compare it with the established IEEE, NIOSH, there's another ICN, IRP. These are safety standards agencies in the US. Simulation results show that capacitive HBC operates at least in an order of magnitude lower current or field density compared to the safety limits anywhere on the body. Okay, but we'll look into how they measure that. That's interesting. And we'll get into that, and we'll see who's popped in. Hi, Pamela. Good to see you. Pamela Jean, off the hook. Got some purple hair buds. Nice. Hi, Scotty boy. Good to see you. Desert Rose. Hi. Scotty's got a post there. Hi, Elderberry. Good to see you. Yeah, it doesn't look like too many people are online tonight. So, yeah. So you guys get to suffer through more technical papers. This one's kind of interesting. See, they talk about the health effects and that they're well within the standards for putting electricity through your body. It's fine, people. Don't worry about it. It's well below our safety standards that we set. It's perfectly safe, comrade. Just step into the box. You're crotcheting a hat? Nice. A lot of people did not have electricity. Yes. You mean like overall, or right now they lost it? Like, did they lose their electricity? No, I haven't seen them lately either. Oh, because of the hurricane. Yeah, my daughter's down in Florida. She was talking to me last night. Wasn't too bad. But I guess in some spots, yeah. Energies are hard to figure out right now. Well, we've got two moons, right? So, you never know what's going on. Maybe that second moon did something. 40 people have lost it. Oh my God. Wow. That is terrible. It's called a condom there, Elderberry. Hi, Loretta. Good to see you. So, this is a good one to share with people who do not believe or will not accept the idea that they are using the human body for communication. Hopefully, that posted. Feel like you're being pushed and pulled at the same time, eh? Okay. There's a link there, Paul. I can't pin anything, I don't think. I don't know if I can. Let me try. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll just repost it. Usually like it, but not today, eh? Yeah, you never know, like, what kind of systems they're implementing, you know? Oh, that's on human body. Share that document out, guys. Share it on FaceAche or whatever you guys are on in your different social media. I never did the Facebook or any of that stuff. I tried a couple of them. Can't remember which ones. I couldn't do them. Jacksonville Taffy. Wow. That's a cool name for a yarn. Yeah, when I find when the world falls apart, I usually just watch it. Hi, Paula. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Boy, did you talk about the link you sent me?
No, not yet. I'm getting to that.
Oh boy, that's a whole rant
Which
video
which
all by
one?
itself.
Which one?
The most recent email you sent me, and I said I was seething with anger.
Okay, you'll have to remind me because I've forgotten.
Um, Holy crap, were you let's- the Hydra? Yeah, about
Oh,
the Hydra.
yeah, the Hydra.
The
Okay,
Hydra.
yeah, that's an interesting article.
Be right back.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Let me see here. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Let's see if I've got it here. 5G networks. No. Can
As
you
I was
send?
reading that, huh?
Can you resend that to me?
Okay, as I was reading that article, I was telling my husband what I was going to be reading next, and I was never fucking wrong. And God, I wish I was. I said, see? He was like, nah. And I said, watch, wait. And I kept reading it to him. I said, see? God damn fucking shit. I still have it open, so I will be able to just grab it. Hopefully, it doesn't kick me the hell out of here.
Well, you can always come back up.
Yes, I can. Uh, Here we go. It's this one. Come
Yeah,
on.
have positive thoughts, guys. You got to stay positive.
Yeah,
Even
well,
when we're in Camp COVID,
try to stay positive
when
while
we're in our
reading
re-education
this.
camps, we'll play checkers and chess, and we'll have a great time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I challenge anybody to read this article and not seethe with anger and stay positive because that is quite the challenge. I couldn't do it. There,
Okay.
it's in private chat.
Oh, okay. Where are we here then?
I'm
There.
going to be doing a video on my channel about it, putting all of my 2 cents in.
Copy link. Yeah, that was an interesting article. Okay, let me change that. Share this tab.
Okay, so my husband, he
So,
forgot something and we had to give that to him. He's on his way to work. There should be no more interruptions.
okay, have a good night, Michael. This immortal creature can create a form of cancer cell that is contagious. I think the title probably just about blew your mind because I know how mad you can get about these types of things.
Mhm.
Jellyfish creature called hydras can develop tumors if overfed, which in turn can be passed on to their clone offspring. A new study on this bizarre phenomenon not only reveals details about the process of hydras, but improves our understanding of transmissible forms of cancer in general. While tumors are an inevitable risk of being a multicellular being, there are thankfully few examples of cancer cells. And did you notice that they said when it was overfed? That was a very
Yes,
important.
overfed, like obesity.
Yes.
Yes.
There are thankfully few examples of cancer that can be passed between individuals. The most well known are two that affect the Tasmanian devil. Another instance affects dogs, and 11 observed in bivalves. I don't know what that means. Um, of course, we're keen to understand how contagious cancers emerge in the first place, namely to avoid somehow conjuring. Yeah, right. So,
Just
to,
keep reading it. Don't skip
to,
no word.
to exactly know how to conjure them in our own species, but
Uh-huh.
also in the hope of protecting other creatures from the terrible suffering tassive devils face due to their facial tumor disease, like Fauci did with
Like,
puppy dogs.
yeah, like
Um,
they care about us at all or any living creature
yeah,
here.
but all these known instances of transmissible cancer have been well established by the time we found out about them. So evolutionary ecologist Sophie Tissot from the French National Center for Science Research uh, and her team had to take a different approach to tracing the origins of the contagious cancers that they probably had developed. Conveniently, one of the conveniently, yes, conveniently, one of the freshwater creatures related to jellyfish and sea anemones spontaneously developed tumors in a lab experiment 15 years ago in a response to overfeeding. Hydra oligactus, a freshwater creature related to jellyfish and sea anemones that is considered immortal in many ways, reproduces asexual, cloning itself by forming little buds that break away to grow into a physically separate but genetically identical creature. There they are there.
Mm-hmm. They've been found in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Got me banned.
That's why I think the way I said it.
This, along with the propensity to form tumors under lab conditions, shows potential for researching the genetics of cancer development. So yeah, if you got these in you, say any way, we won't say how, but
Just
if
anyway.
you just any old way, and you were say obese, you would be possibly overfeeding, or they may be just overfeeding on a regular person, but you would figure that somebody with, so let's read on.
Before you read on, let me interject a moment.
Sure.
Hideous exciting thought that came to me when I was reading that. The Walking Dead. Now, if they become the Walking Dead because of that thing can we even kill these motherfuckers? Like they show us in the movies and the TV shows. Are they trying to make them unkillable? I'm just saying, be prepared.
Well, that would be a good possibility, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't hurt you, just make a lot of noise.
Okay, so I'm done with that rant, and I'll shut up now while you continue reading.
That's all right. Where were we here?
Right.
Yeah, along with its propensity to form tumors in lab conditions, shows potential for researching the genetics of cancer developments. And how much you want to bet they're going to engineer some type of a leak,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tissot's and colleagues set out to show just how valuable this model can be for understanding the evolution of transmissible cancers, even though there's only two types and they're not in humans yet. But maybe in the future we might see transmissible cancers from human to human. I wonder why that would be.
Because they're not looking for a cure in this article. They are finding ways to keep it multiplying, like generational curses. Like, when you fill out the paperwork at a new doctor and you tell them all the shit your dad was sick with and all the shit your mom was sick with, and you just told them everything you should be sick with, so they make sure you get that. Oh my God, my head exploded. I'm sorry. I'm going to mute now.
What are the comments in chat here? Probably, Loretta. I would bet that would be something to do with it, maybe.
They make you tell on yourself.
Yeah.
Them bastards.
Put down the damn fork? Yeah. Okay, let's continue on here. Okay. Using this hydra, which exhibits a spontaneous tumor development in some strains, became vertically transmitted. This study presents the first experimental observation of the evolution of transmissible tumor, the authors write. This therefore makes the first contribution to the understanding the conditions of transmissible cancers. Oh, isn't that wonderful?
How interesting.
And their short-term consequences for the host. They collected 50 hydras from Montaud Lake in France and set them up for a life in the lab to guarantee high
Montauk.
tumor development rate, budding, and thus increased chance of tumor transmission. The researchers fed some of these polyps an excessive amount of brine shrimp larvae 5 times a week, mimicking the conditions that promote tumor development. Oh, look at the tumors. Isn't that beautiful on the right there?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see why that did set your head on fire.
Oh,
It relates
yes.
back to a lot of stuff that we got banned about talking about in the
Years
past.
long. Yeah. I just kept getting more and more red in the face as I
Yeah,
continued to
we
read.
kind of have to be careful with what we're saying here, but yeah,
Yes. It's
yeah,
cool.
it's a
It's
very
so super
disturbing.
cool.
It's a very disturbing development. I will have to say that, and that they're working on it now, right? You know,
Yes. But put that in live chat so that they can continue reading the whole thing. It's not a really long article.
no,
I suggest you take a break every couple of paragraphs so you can digest it, because that's how I had to do it. Because I was telling my husband, I said, I know what they're going to fucking say next. I know it. And he was like, no. And I was like, watch. And I opened
yeah,
the damn
right.
tablet, started reading again, and damn it, I was right. It does come down to people in the end.
Hmm.
Yes.
Tommy Lee's wife is going apex shit crazy, saving her dog. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's craziness going on out there.
Yeah.
Some people are going to go nuts, I think, and they already kind of are. So it's a problem. I don't trust people. Okay, where were we here? Next up is, hold on. Which one did I want to show?
Yeah, I think this is the screen you had it on when I reminded you of the email you sent me with that.
Yeah, yeah. I was pretty much done this one. That one is good to share because it shows that they're, that they think that they're well within the standards. Oh yeah, where was I? Anywhere on the body, wide range of frequencies. Okay, so yeah, here's some of the disturbing stuff. Simulations results show that the capacitive HBC operates at least in an order of magnitude lower current or field density compared to the safety limits anywhere on the body for a wide range of frequencies from 10 kilohertz to 1 gigahertz. So that's what they're putting through your body. However, galvanic HBC can result in the field intensities higher than the safety limits, close to the point of excitation, which you don't want, at certain frequencies. A study is carried out at a set of 7 subjects to determine the effects of capacitive HBC on vital parameters, such as mean arterial pressure. Okay, this is what they're studying, is like your mean arterial pressure, so how well your veins are working. If it changes your respiration rate, okay, if it has any peripheral capillary oxygen, if it changes the oxygen levels in your body, basically, the saturation level, or your temperature. So those are the only things they're measuring. Those are very um, ineffectual tests because they're not testing the DNA, because they're coding DNA, but they're not testing the DNA or the cells to see if there's cell damage, cellular decay, the propensity of the introduction of cancers or certain toxins created from these things. They're not measuring anything like that.
So they're not looking into everyone's individual DNA and how to bring in something new properly without it causing damage. They just want to close their eyes and throw it at you and see what sticks.
Yep. Throw the switch, see what happens. Yep. They don't want to see what it does to your cells. They don't want to see what it's doing. Like they could even do an EEG, study your brain waves, see if it's affecting your brain waves, but they're not doing that either.
No, because they don't give a flip. They'll
Yeah,
do that when it comes
these
to this.
standards are made so that they can pretty much deploy anything they want on you, because they can
Well, then
lower
they're
the
not
power
standard.
levels of almost anything down to the point where it's acceptable,
Well, then they're not
and then have
standard.
the
So they don't.
capability of just ramping it right up.
What's the opposite of standards? Whatever word is the opposite of standards is what they're using. Because if they had standards, they'd be doing what we stated. They need to be, what is this going to do to this DNA? What's it going to do to that DNA? We should be watching it from every angle.
Yeah, what does it do to different blood types?
Yeah,
Because
what does it do
you
to
found
yeah.
a document that showed that it affects different blood types in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I would
uh,
be curious to find
I
out in the
would.
future all the blood types that passed away from the Kool-Aid.
Hmm. Hi, Karen Lynn. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I came in locked and loaded. Still seething from that article.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to bring that out at some point.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, where were we here? What's that? The Hydra. Okay. Just trying to look at some things. So what they have up and coming. Where is it?
Probably down further if it's on this page. Or is it a different tab altogether?
Oh, I've got like a whole bunch of tabs open here.
Oh, so your windows look like mine.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go. I found it. Oh, okay. Are you not going to let me show it now?
Mm,
Come on, let me show it.
come on, don't be an ass. You didn't show it.
Okay, so this one was good. This is one I sent to you recently, I think. Multi-biosensor based wireless body area networks, WBAN, for critical healthcare monitoring of patients in health care centers, an interdisciplinary study. This one's good because it outlines what they're doing. Each document tries to hide what they're doing pretty much to us, but they do have to give clues if you can find the right documents, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like this one, a wireless body area network is a sensor network that is specifically designed to operate in an autonomous way to connect different medical sensors and appliances inside as well as outside the human body. They forgot to put that. But the specifics of each one is inside the human body, inside and or around or on the human body. All the time they will tell you inside the human body. The network exists over the entire human body. The nodes present within the network are wirelessly connected to server nodes or base station and the other IoT clients. Internet of Things is what that is. There are numerous areas of application of WBAN wireless body area networks like healthcare, medicine, multimedia, which is transmitting like your Bluetooth stream, and sports, etc.
No.
Transmitting your porn, your shows, your talking to your mother, all of that's done through your body. The work reported to date include the design and development of WBAN to measure the biological functions like temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, ECG. They did go a little further with this one, right? Took an electrocardiogram to see if it screws up your heart, your respiration. So did it change your breathing at all when they were putting electricity through your body? Well, it might not, because it might be such a low amperage and voltage that it just damages your DNA and makes your teeth fall out and doesn't make your respiration change.
But here recently, about 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, my husband went grocery shopping. I happened to decided to go with him. And by the time we got to the store, which is just a mile or so down the road, I was just taking as deep a breath as I could because I didn't know that I should have hit my inhaler before leaving. But this wasn't that. So maybe I was being hit
Maybe.
because I came home and I hit that inhaler and I was still
Yeah.
just as hard and as deep as I
I
could breathe to keep it going.
Yeah, it does attack the soft tissues, your eyes, your gums, your lungs. That's why you
Yeah,
get flu
it was
like
terrible.
symptoms from active denial systems and stuff.
And we were down by a tower.
Pardon me?
We were at the store where there's a tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oftentimes in the stores too, they transmit a lot.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
and it was happening inside the store. Yeah.
some stores have, like, if you go to the back of the store, you can't get a signal, and that's awesome. It's really good to go hang out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got in and got out and got home, got as far away from that tower as we could. I forgot to tell you about that. But since you brought it up about hard to be breathing, yeah, there's a tower right there at the store we were at. Yeah.
We have a Queen Peachy testifying. I'm here to
Yes.
testify that if you stand in
Testify.
in a media room where all the plugs come together, it will F your head up in 10 minutes or less, depending on high voltage levels and other factors. Yeah, and you get, G sharp. She sits beside a big amp, and she notices that has some effect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if she notices that you're live and she joins.
Yeah.
She'd like this video.
But yeah, I've shared that document there, so you guys can share it with your
I
friends.
opened it. Yeah, I opened it. It's in a new tab before I even came in
So
here.
yeah, see, the things that they're testing. What I'm trying to show tonight is the medical side of what they're testing, and they're not testing for shit.
No,
You know,
yeah. You
your
said it was a what was the word?
temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, ECG, and respiration. That's it. They're
Yeah,
not testing if it affects your pH, your, blood sugar, which
yeah, blood
diabetes is a huge thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in an M-Wave document that I have, it claims that the closer you live to a cell tower, the higher level of blood sugar you'll probably have.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
some things like that. So yeah,
And more cases of your sugar dropping. So I
yeah.
keep glucose tabs in the house.
Mm.
They work the fastest. They used to melt like tarts, but now they've made them harder. So what I did was I threw them in my Ninja blender and bashed it into dust and put it back in the bottle. So I take a spoonful whenever my sugar drops now.
Of what?
Of I'll make sure I say it right. Glucose tabs.
Oh, okay,
You can
sugar.
get them in the pharmacy area. They have grape, orange, raspberry flavors.
Yeah, here's where they get kind of funky, because we know, okay, from the things they do, we know that they're not really on our side. So,
No.
okay. So this sentence is pretty disturbing if you take it for its reverse meaning.
Okay.
The work reported to date include the design and development of W-band to measure biological functions like temperature, blood pressure, heart rate, ECG, respiration, etc. Besides its importance to focus on mental health care services, it involves patients who are mentally ill or being treated in psychiatric hospitals, asylums for mental disorders. The hospitals are located mostly in remote areas, not having contact with cities. Different mental disorders like schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, and other types of mental illness are treated by admitting the patient in the hospital. The social awareness on the mental illness needs serious attention for the human well-being, which we know that's not what they're interested in. So
No.
what are they studying in these remote hospitals? Are they
Exactly.
finding people with, some slight propensity for schizophrenia, bipolar, and other
Uh-huh.
disorders, and taking them out there and just hammering away at them, seeing
Yes.
how far they can push it,
Yes.
because that's what they did in Canada.
Yes.
That's part of MK Ultra, which was only one of their studies that they
Many.
were doing into controlling the human mind.
Yep. One of many.
So yeah, this is disturbing, right? Because they take these people, they could hit them with anything, any type
Yep.
of wave, any level of electricity, and they did that.
Yep.
So in this paper, we present a complete study of mental health care and its importance on the human livelihood. Well, come on.
Yeah. Like, come on, man.
How are you electrically studying the human condition? You're trying to map these disorders,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and project them on us. That's what they're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, because you can take what they say and just reverse it. We're
Yes.
trying to help mental health. Well, clearly not. You closed down the health institutions where these people got care. Now they're out on the
Yes.
streets with their limbs missing on drugs,
Uh-huh.
robbing people and getting beat up. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. This is so much better, right? Yeah.
Different
Ugh.
biosensors for medical health monitoring have been surveyed and discussed. We further intend to design a W-band prototype, which is you, uh, which will help
Yes.
the mental health professionals to manage patients, ensuring their safety and preventing accidental deaths. But we know they're trying to burrow into the human mind, so that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much what they're doing. Here's a graphic that shows. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to cover it up. Here's your body area network. There's a sensor in your body. They show you sensors. No, these are sensor nodes on your body, on your wrists, chest. There's one in your head as well. But they're trying to pretend that these are devices. You
Have
know.
we have we ever discussed the Fitbit?
Yeah, you don't need that though. They don't need it really. They've got enough sensors in us. Your
But the
body's a sensor.
Fitbit, everyone's like, "Oh, the Fitbit, I can keep track of my blood pressure and my heart rate and everything and stay in shape and make sure I take my certain amount of steps a day and da 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 da." Well, ask yourself, how does the Fitbit know? How is it able to pick up on all of that? When you go to the hospital, they throw all these electrodes on your ass to
Yeah.
be able to read you. How is this one thing on your wrist able to read you if what Max is telling us is bullshit? Because what he's telling you is true. That's how the Fitbit can read you.
Yep, it's one of any device they can use. Any device that'll use Bluetooth, Zigbee, ANT, any device capable of transmitting and receiving, which is
Yep.
almost every device. So
Yep.
I know there's a transmitter and receiver on my computer, but I can't get rid of it. I have to find it and get rid of it. Either that or it's just a high power source or something. There's always I don't know. I don't like computers.
Yeah. My husband does like computers. He's
Well,
obsessed.
I have to use them to communicate, so I'm stuck with them.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I wish they'd give me like a computer that didn't blast me with uh, a
Yeah.
bunch of electricity.
Right. You sound like me and Mike. We've been hacking too.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah,
puffing like crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
so I
me
really
either.
wanted to show you guys, like this study is just as on the health effects is just as pathetic. Okay,
Yes.
as what they do with cell phones, they take this gel head, a head that's made of gel filled with water, and they see if there's any temperature change. So if there's a temperature change, they tell you to keep it further away. That's it. They don't tell you the health effects on your DNA, what it does to your mind, your psyche, your mood, other things. I got
Right.
PTSD. Oh, Samuel Jackson. Yeah. Okay. I wrapped it. Oh, Scotty.
Yeah, yeah.
Shungite behind your cell phone. Organite helps. Well, I have that. I tried Shungite and Organite. Organite helps a little. If it's really close to you, I find. Shungite isn't great for shielding. It may have some attractive effects for some of it, but when done testing with it, what they found is you need like a 1 inch thick, uh, basically plate of shungite, and
Yeah,
it only really acts as a shielding. It doesn't actually absorb. What
yeah.
I found recently that works are magnets, and well, I do grounding.
Yes.
These would be good to get for a lot of people. Let me show you guys. They're neodymium magnets. Okay,
Uh-huh.
they're like the size of a dollar. You know.
Yeah, a dollar piece.
Okay,
Yeah.
get some of those.
Okay.
I found they have great effects on some of the conditions that I've been trying to work on, mainly digestive.
Uh-huh.
Um, the electricity works. The grounding works on teeth, but these work on digestive problems. And it's kind of weird. I just noticed it the other day or either today. Um, I'm using negative polarity electricity on the bottom, on the top, right?
Uh-huh.
And negative magnetics on the bottom. And if a torus field is actually designed in the same way, the
Hmm.
electricity is on the top. That's where it's more of an electric than a magnetic, because electricity draws together. Magnetics actually repel.
Uh-huh.
So on the bottom of my body, I'm using a negative magnetic field. And I could show you a torus field. There's cat ionic and cathode and anode, basically, which is the top and bottom of a torus field. So using the electric at the top and the magnetic at the bottom follows torus field structures.
Yes. Uh, Now is that like a battery that you showed us there?
No, that was just a magnet,
That's just a magnet.
just a
Okay.
disc magnet. Now, I use these in different places. I put one in my back pocket. Okay, with the negative pole, you have to figure out which is the positive and negative pole, and you do that with a compass.
Okay.
So you get,
Gonna go get
a
your
compass like
compass.
this.
Make yourself big screen.
Yep, gonna do it. So a compass, like a north-south compass, right?
It's one that works. Yes.
Okay, and then hold on. So you take the magnet and you put it up to the compass, and you can see how that's at the north, pointing towards the compass.
Uh-huh.
That means that that's the negative side. Or
Okay.
so let me just check that.
And so you put that up against your butt?
Yes, I
Yes.
just put it in my pocket.
Yeah, but that with that part up against your inside, not, and then the
Yeah,
positive
the
is facing
negative to
out.
the inside.
Because I was gonna ask you all those questions. How you wearing it, where you putting it. Yeah. You know me, I always have questions. I'm full of questions.
Yep. So, and that seems to help with digestion.
Good. That's good to know. I should look into that. From being so angry all the time, I have a digestion problem. So,
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to make contact with him. I still have his email address. What's the purpose of a diaper? Yeah, so those are really helpful.
yeah.
So the north pole of a battery or a magnet will connect to the south pole of a compass. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can test it that way. And the same is the reverse. The positive
Yeah.
will connect to the negative or the south.
Yes. The south.
Okay. Yeah, and grounding, that really helped
Yeah.
with my teeth. Wear a diaper.
Yes.
Where are we here? I'll take myself off. So yeah, if you guys have any stomach ailments, highlight. Hi, William. You got three names there. I go with Robin. I always go with Robin. Hi, Robin.
Uh,
Remember Starship Troopers? Don't know what that one has to do with it.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it could always be better, Scotty. My strawberry tequila went down wrong.
Strawberry tequila to kill you. But I
Hi,
guess
fools
that would
and
be
ghouls.
like what was strawberry daiquiri, I guess. Went down the wrong hole.
Yeah, it's worked on everybody. Like my wife, every once in a while, all of her gums will hurt all at once. And
Yes.
if she puts her thumb on the battery, yeah, there's two guys at work that I've helped with that. Just giving them a 9-volt battery. Put your thumb on the negative pole. Tell me if it works or doesn't. You know.
Exactly. Blew their mind though, didn't you?
And both of them rolled their eyes at me and said, "All right, I'll try it." So these weren't willing participants, really. They were kind of skeptics. So you can't
That's
really
good.
you can't really give the placebo effect for those.
No. I still want to get one of those things that I could use for migraine.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to work on my husband
I'll
for
do
letting
another
me have
I'll do another
what
show on how to make them, but they're a pain in the ass to send. They want me to deal with customs and everything now.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Then do a video on how to make one so
yeah,
that I can just make him make one for me. Um,
yeah. It's really
because
easy.
they have given me half of the pain pills that they normally would allow me for my migraines.
Oh,
Um, they've
yeah. They've been
I
doing that a
it's
lot.
less than half actually. I used to get 60, now I only get 20.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot with a lot of people that I've seen. They've been cutting down on the medications.
And mine are the wimpiest little fucking ibuprofen. You
Yeah, I
know,
think it was like across the board they did it, because of all the over prescriptions that they've been doing.
I wasn't getting over prescriptions with only 60 pills, and I would make them last one prescription last months. So it's not like I was being a pillhead about it.
Mrs. Max is awesome, Karen Lynn. Thank you
But
for
they're
asking.
treating me like I'm being a pillhead about it, and I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, uh, yeah,
And they're the wimpiest pain pill. They're not the serious ones. My pharmacist has no idea why they make me show my ID for my pain pills because they're just barely better than over the counter crap. Because over the counter crap really don't touch a migraine, so I needed something with a little extra oomph.
yeah.
And I don't abuse them. I've proven that. I've had a doctor since I had my heart attack a few years ago,
Hmm.
and I didn't even ask for pain pills till a couple years later. And then I said, but I need like the wussiest motherfuckers you got because I can't take that codeine and all that other fancy shit that everybody gets all hooked on. I get nauseous and I feel worse than I did before I took them. So I can't take that crap.
Yeah,
So they're the wussiest pills you can get. And they took me from 60 to 20.
yeah. We got to
Motherfuckers.
find alternate solution, guys, because like
Yes.
here's what's happening. Fools and tools.
Yeah.
My dad rang me up and said they ran out of and has to wait for his medication.
Oh my
Because
God.
it mostly comes from China, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
right now, oh yeah, this is really important. The dock workers are going on strike. This
So
is
they're out to
really
hurt us some
important,
more.
guys. Huh?
So they're out to hurt us some more, claiming that they're going to
Yeah,
hurt the man. You're not
yeah.
going to
So
hurt the
they
man, you
they
morons.
incited. We have them beside us. These Marine Mariners, Mission to the Mariners, and yeah, they're going to go on strike. If they go on strike for one day, they claim it'll take 5 days to catch up.
Oh,
So every day they don't work takes 5 days to catch up.
how convenient.
Yeah, your food supply, your drug supply, products, cheap products from China, all of those. Let's see. Let's see. Dock worker strike. I'll type it up. See if what we can find because this is going to really affect us. You better buy your toilet paper right now.
Are you kidding me? I've already been keeping, like, my husband will get a pack of toilet paper, the 12-pack roll of toilet paper, 12-pack of toilet paper. I will
Hmm.
always squirrel away a roll. So I've got some squirreled away in my room so that we don't have to panic at the end when it
So
happens.
here's how they claim how massive port worker strike could scramble 2024 race. Strike deadline looms for tens of thousands of dock workers 3 hours ago. Let's see when they're. Don't play that. Deadline. Okay, that's a video. I can't play videos.
They're not going to
Um,
harm them. Well, they're only going to harm us.
where are
So
the
stupid.
articles? Let's go to news here. Here's what you need to know.
I think they're being mind controlled to think that they need to strike.
Some 25,000 dock workers at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports from Boston to Houston could strike as early as October 1st. Their union, the International Longshoremen Association, has been in contract talks with the United States Maritime Alliance, representing ocean carriers and port operators for months. But the two sides have not met face to face since June. The alliance this week filed charges with federal labor officials calling out the union for refusing to bargain. The union called the move a weak publicity campaign and says the two sides have had multiple communications in recent weeks. How's your ESG score, I wonder? More than 170 industry groups from the National Association of Manufacturers The U.S. Dairy Export Council to the Fashion and Jewelry Trade Association have urged the Biden administration to intervene, warning that a strike would have a devastating impact on the economy.
Which is the whole point of it. Which is why
Of
I think
course
they're
it is,
being
yeah.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, if they can't do that, they'll cram up a canal again.
Yeah. Yeah. All of that shit. Start taking down more
I'll put a
bridges.
link to that article there for you guys to read yourselves.
Nice.
But yeah, that could cause a lot of trouble.
Uh-huh. And just in
So
time for the so-called holidays. Yeah.
so 6 days. That's like 30 days. That's a
Yeah.
month behind. 6 days.
Yeah. Won't someone stop the madness, for crying out loud?
Funny, every country's gone scrambled with next month, October. They're having government world meeting in Australia. King Philip's couldn't make it. Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
Some spiritual thing has happened because of eh? Well, there's a second moon in the sky. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
I am wondering, since they claim that the water is controlled by the moon, what in the actual fuck is going to happen with a second temporary moon?
Oh, it's very tiny. It's very tiny. It's not that big.
Well, I know it's not that big compared to our moon,
Like
but
you can't see it. It's just going to trail behind the moon.
hmm. Then I
I
wonder,
don't
is it
think
a
it's not even big enough to affect like the moon's orbit or spin or anything.
hmm.
Like if
Well,
the
I
moon
thought
slowed down,
painting
it would
and
just
things.
hit it, and that would be about it. It would just like disappear.
I would think anything entering would cause some kind of disruption.
I was hoping it would have an effect on our pineal, but
That would be nice.
yeah. Well, the moon affects the menstrual cycles in the pineal, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
hi, Mitch Gander. Good to see you.
So I've been looking into plasma because apparently it's the same thing as ether, which is my element in Mayan astrology. So
Okay.
plasma, ether, same thing. And ether slash plasma are the building blocks of how to take something from non existence and build it into existence.
Hmm.
So I got me a plasma ball. So I have
Okay.
extra plasma in my house, and I'm going to start playing with it, meditating, and speaking things out loud, and I'll keep you posted. um, I think that you guys should maybe look into that. I know I've got a couple of videos from this lady that I found on TikTok um, that I've duetted and put on my channel. She's a bleach blonde brunette. She seems like a dizzy blonde, but she's just very excited about what she has found,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. And to me, she's adorable and brilliant at the same time.
All right.
And yeah, so anything that says plasma on my channel, go watch it and then do your own
Okay.
research. Because, I mean, if we can do anything to stop what they are planning,
Hmm.
this is what we can do in a nonviolent way. Is we can learn how to work that ether, that plasma.
Oh, wow. Sounds like Morgan's tripping balls there.
Uh-oh.
No,
Um,
in a good way, I think. I
well,
hope.
usually, right? I didn't get to read all of that last comment there. Just give me an update. What's he saying? Uh, nope, it's gone again. Is he going to join? And he can just tell us? So what?
I have that adrenochrome mix from when I was a young child again. You can't buy this. Okay, so he's got a level of epiphany happening, I think.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
exciting.
Yes.
New moon full intention detox. Okay. Yeah, this kid at work keeps telling me about moon goofing. Apparently, you point your bare ass at the moon for some reason. Let the lunar waves go through your body. Device
Yeah.
isn't connecting there, Morgan. He's in the
Oh,
background there, but his device isn't coming in.
uh, yeah, I definitely don't think you have to point your butt at the moon.
Hi, Mr. Obvious. Does it? I don't know if I want to find out. I like the pineal seepage that I have. You can get that.
Yes.
You give yourself goosebumps, or
Yep.
have an epiphany, or connect with the universe and God, or whatever you want to call it. The
No,
all.
ether.
Yeah,
Also, I'm glad you said that.
yeah. I get that.
Ether.
I get that. These the Buddhist monks talk about it. It's a it's a golden liquid. It's the honey, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's seepage from your pineal gland that you get when you do those type of praises to God. There you are, praises to God, or the
You're
all.
getting pretty close to the purple there, Max. Come on,
There he
don't tell them everything.
is. There he is. So yeah. So the theory is also that ether slash. Help me out with the other word. I got thrown off when our friend joined.
Plasma.
Plasma is God. Ether slash plasma is God. If
Yeah,
there's a God, that's what it is
yeah, because that's everything.
because it's everything.
It's thought
It
and
is.
spirit
It's
before.
everything.
It's like what manifests. Okay, look
Hi,
at
Richard.
matter and protein, right? Inside our bodies or whatever. Just like, oh yeah, things are like protein and protein chains, right? Like, and like make up like the matter of your body. Well, what makes up what makes up the matter of like love or spirit or will, right? Like what is God? Well, God technically it has to be spirit, but that also can manifest into the physical with its will. Like its very will.
And
Yeah,
and what
how it
has
becomes
happened, I
physical
will.
from the electrical, I don't know, but that's
It
I can see.
will. It
I
wills
well,
it, right?
yeah, that's that's how it's described.
Manifest desire. So there must be so okay, so the very nature of God then must be to create another being that can feel and also be high. Because if I'm high and I feel good, because good is God, okay? So now,
Yeah.
naturally, I'm going to have the principles and the properties of light. I don't have weight, I don't have matter, but I do exist, and everything everything works off me and feels off me because I am the energy from which anything needs to derive power to even become. And the thing is, but first, if you're high, you do understand, like if you're high, you naturally are going to make another thing to be able to exist to feel
Yeah,
high as you are, because you would have to do that because it's in your nature for some, but the thing is you would have to give that thing choice as well. Now the first time I did that, you know what I mean, it can betray you, and it did, and it does. And and then you make people and then they betray you, but you get to forgive them. And then as long as there's a forgiveness in place, they can always, you can always forgive them, and then like you just put something permanent in place, and then it doesn't matter because you can choose permanently to say to a permanent power, look, every time I mess up, if you're willing to forgive me, can I exist in that? And so that I won't keep on stubbing my toe, because that's what hell is. Like technically it's like where you keep on stubbing your toe, and it's like, how do I stop stubbing my toe, God? And whatever God is to you, but I think God is that original life that creates and says, I want you to be high just like me because I'm light and I'm matter. And I think like all the Jesus stuff, it comes from that because we need it. And you're like, oh wait, from like the heart of God, because he's a servant, and he God wants to get you high.
Well, when you're in a state of you know, happiness or
yes,
bliss,
Yes.
yes.
you
Yes.
just want to share that.
Thank you,
Right.
Max.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, and it is conversely true, unfortunately, that those in negative moods want to share those negative moods.
Yes,
One is much better than the other, you know?
Yes.
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 That's why they call it the higher frequency of thought, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's like okay, check out this. This is what my brain just said to me, or my spirit just said to me. He said, okay, you could get high without working or whatever, you know what I mean? And someone might say, but I'm still high just like you. But the thing is, there's a different type of feeling that comes over you when you've worked, and like, you know, when your conscience is clean and you know that the work that you did was honest and 100%. And then that feeling that you get when like someone else comes up and let's say someone else comes up that only gave like 50%. Now, even though they still gave, you know what I mean? So it's not like they're not giving, but there's a certain feeling that you get when you gave your all. That's what I mean by the adrenochrome. What I mean by like the feeling, the dopamine that is made in your brain, like just
Mm,
when you've given your all, is the
Yes.
most satisfying type of rest, shall we say? If rest
Mhm.
is the reward, like the liquid that the brain makes, like that the elders pour, or whatever you want to call it, you know. But it certainly is the sweetest wine. Let's say the sweetest wine
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that which comes from the greatest effort, and you know, to always be given that by grace. Like even when, let's say, like God's like, well, you gave your all when you were young, therefore you'll continue getting it when you're old, and you were given it while you were a baby because you get it on grace until you're a certain age, and it's like, oh wait, so I always got it? Yes, because you got it on grace when you were a child. Then when you were able, you did the work, and then because you did the work when you got older, you were given it as your grace. So you always were full, and never had to suffer what people considered the embarrassment of being young and the embarrassment of being old. Does that make sense? In spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
also high, I guess. You know, like people get manic and they'd say, well, maybe just a little bit manic, you know, and it's like, okay, I accept that. I would imagine that all men of God or manic street preachers, everyone, when they get that little bit of blessing and they feel like they want to share,
yeah.
I call manic man I see. And the world goes, oh, you got to look
Yeah.
out for a man. What do you mean? Like, well, you got to destroy him whenever you see him. Like, that's very clear from the liberal, it's a political point of view now.
I see it as you are just excited, like
That's good
anyone
stuff.
would get in the
Yeah.
middle of a fucking epiphany.
Yeah.
And but they want to label you. Something's wrong. No, fuck them.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Um, that's how I see it. Like someone when they feel that that elation from discovering the truth, and then they want to say it to the world, and the world's like, oh, but we don't do things that way. And it's
Well,
like we like to
here's
take
how
out the
you do
highs
things.
and the lows.
Yeah. If they don't understand you, then just don't talk to them. That's all you can do, really.
No, it's true. It's true because yeah, because you don't want your exactly. You don't want it to be wasted. You know what I mean? Like the water that you're
Yeah.
watering, you'd like it to get on fertile soil. You'd like it to land on
Yeah.
fertile soil. That's right. That's
Not
right.
dry, dead, dried up soil,
Yeah,
rocky ground. Yeah.
yeah.
Stony ground.
It's like having the mind open though, like that pineal part too. It's like having everything answered. You know what I mean? Like it's like it does feel like Buddha on the mountaintop.
Here's
I
a fun
understand
little
I don't
fact.
know everything. I understand that I'm not perfect, but I know him. Like you know what I mean? Like, but I know it. Like, and I don't know it actually, but I have a part in it. Like I don't have to be God, but I'm a friend of God. And you know what that it's like. I don't have to be Tom Cruise. I just have to know Tom Cruise. And other no wait. Other people have to know that I know Tom Cruise. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giddy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Hi,
giddy.
Zara. Good to see you. Here's an interesting practice. Close your eyes and focus in on Morgan's energy field, and just see if you can see his energy field.
Yeah,
I can see it.
I can feel it, man.
I took a look at it. It's got
Yes.
It's got two lines of energy running up at the top of the field, and then they
Cool.
intersect, and they do a U shape, and they recombine, and they're doing some neat things up there.
Do you
Yeah,
see
I
a
can
color,
feel it. I can
Max?
feel it. If I took the hat off, you'd be able to see the hair. It's like
Do you see a
it'll
color
stand on end if I
with
take
it
the hat
too?
off. It, like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll look like this at first, and then it'll go and do the Einstein until it's all standing up like that on end.
Well,
And
we'll
that's
all see it in different ways, but that's how I see it.
yeah, that's
I'm
how I know I'm
saying
manic
green
too, or
deer
whatever.
as well.
Like, because when they give you the Thorazine, that's what'll come down. Like your hair and everything will come down from that electric. Do you ever
Yeah.
get that, Max? When your hair, like when your hair just goes like zzz and it won't stop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we all get
Yes.
that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's certainly when the pressure's higher or the atmosphere, like when there's like this is
Mm.
going to be a storm or something, and it's like, hey, man, your hair is right electric. And
Yep.
it's because the
Yes,
electricity
the
increases in the air, the electric availability. That's right.
electrostatic,
The electric
yeah.
potential in the air.
Yeah. You can
It's
do that
like
internally
lasers
too.
on
That can come
Yes.
from inside you.
Yes. And I feel as if that electrical field is all around me, you know, in that comforting way where it's like, no, you're definitely like, you know, you've purged yourself of, you know, like with spiritually. And I understand that's the alchemy. I understand that that's the alchemy of the alchemist that it's truly
the
speaking of. When I
metaphysics.
see,
Yeah.
yeah, like when I look at my spirit and I say, you know, when I'm judging other people, you know what I mean? It's like, but you understand they're doing the exact same thing you're doing, Morgan. They're trying though. So it's like you're judging angels or people that are trying, meaning you have people that don't care, and then you have people that care. And the thing is, you can't condemn the people that care all the way because there's that love there, causing them to not be able to be completely compressed. And then and then the Lord or whatever, that thing that created and said, I'm making something else so that it can be high and feel like I do, it buffers that person and feeds them this love rather than denying it this, because this is what actual food is. Spirit, not food. That's just different types of
Yes.
poison and gas. It's gas, actually. It's a gas. You put gas in yourself so that you go. Like
Mhm.
it's well, I mean that's evident, you know what I'm saying? And then half that gas, like, you know, and I get it too, but the thing is, like with the food that we eat, it's like, look, that you can't use that, it's poison, and your body takes it out of you and then puts it out. But the beautiful thing is that that is what we use to put seeds in. Like poop really works, like, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of other stuff too. But it's to understand that you can't look at the poop and say that's bad and I'm good. It's like, no, you're good.
Well, sometimes I have a bad poop and sometimes I have a good poop. I like them if they're more solid.
Yeah, and I mean, but scent will really tell you whether it's good or not. You know what I mean? And certain things, you know, I mean, like
Yeah, it should smell like roasted oats.
yeah, exactly. It shouldn't
What do we got?
smell
Who just joined?
wicked.
No,
Hello.
Decent.
Hi, D.
Mhm.
Like
What
some
we
people
talking
like the
about
smell of
tonight?
manure. Like because it's not it's an acquired scent. Like some farmers, like once you get used to it, you're just like, oh wait, that's manure. But the thing
Yeah.
is, there's also sour manure where it's like, hey, that manure doesn't
Yeah,
smell
Well,
right.
that's not
cow's
manure. That's your manure.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
cow's sick,
There's
man.
an element in it that's rotten. Exactly. Because when
Yes.
something's rotten,
Well,
you can tell.
yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Those magnets I've started using. They help with digestion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very important for us.
Which
So,
magnets? Which magnets, Max?
here, I'll show you. I'll do it again so
Did
people
you
can
just
see.
Yeah,
hear
do it again.
It's magnetism, a good radiation.
So here's a magnet. It's marked with the negative pole and the positive pole.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And what you do is you take a compass, a directional compass, like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out the North Pole will connect to the negative pole of the magnet.
Right. Beautiful.
So you point the negative pole of the magnet,
Cool.
and I just wear this one. Hold on, where'd my coin go?
You get magnesite,
Just put it
common metal.
right
Well,
in
your
there.
faces?
Negative pole pointed in,
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
And I put one in my back pocket with the negative.
Oh, cool. I have a
Yes.
bunch of those little magnets. I have they need a dimnium?
Yes. The bigger the magnet, the better, because the field will be larger.
Yep.
So you
And
want
this
a
is
large
like
field. This one has a field of about 8 inches. It's not that big, but you know, the bigger the magnet, the bigger the field you'll get. So
No, that brings it right practical too, so that nobody can say, "Oh, that's gobbledygook." It's like, no, it's practical.
yeah, and you can
Yes.
tell how big the field is by using your compass as well, by the same
Oh, that's news.
process. So
Yeah.
I didn't know. Can you actually influence the compass then by
so here, watch.
aim it at you or you can
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
can see.
That's
oh
amazing, eh? The sides of the north are in you.
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah,
It
you
works much
told me
better
that.
flat. I can't show it to you. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
it's
Maybe I can. Hold on.
That's okay, I believe you.
they did it the first time, but it didn't
No, I
work
just want to
again
show you
because
how. Because here, hold on. So you can see how the distance the magnet affects.
Yeah.
Oh, here, hold on.
yeah.
So there, that's quite a distance away, and it affects it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the
now-
larger the magnet, you can tell how far the field will go. By
Wow, that's like over a foot. That's like maybe a foot or so.
about 8 inches, 8 to
About
10
8
inches.
inches, yeah.
Okay, well, I was being generous because you're a guy.
Yeah.
So it's
that would be
Thank
8
you.
inches all the way around.
I was trying to be nice.
it's
Yeah.
Mount
But it
Meru.
would
So
be
it's,
it would be
it goes
8
back to
inches
Mount
all the way
Meru.
around that area though.
Yeah,
8 inches like,
neodymium. The
up that.
neodymium are rare earth magnets. They're called rare earth magnets.
Yeah, rare
Yeah.
earth magnets. And you know what? You can get them off of Timu. And if you use Timu,
Yep.
please click my Timu link. But
I
you
get,
can get them off of Timu really cheap.
and my wife just bought some more. I'll show you the packaging. They're from a hardware store.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can get those pretty cheap. Doggone.
Yes. I think we should all get those magnets.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
it's like it's power, right? Like, and then
Yeah.
like you have magnets, and you set them opposed to each other, and then like when we can use that power, I mean, just you take a bunch of magnets and then just use them for power. There's a way to do it. Like
Yeah. There's several ways.
the magnets themselves, it'd be good to have for power. Like it's like, hey, I've got magnets. It's like, okay, that's a source we
You've
can.
got magnets and you know what to do with them. You've got electricity. You've got
Yeah,
lighting.
thank you.
when
That's
you light
exactly
the
what I
light.
meant.
Yes.
Like even in my own mind, I was
I
like, you
remember
know, it would be
saying
good to have a store of
I remember-
magnets.
Yeah, so you just buy them in a pack. I don't know if you guys have Mastercraft down there.
I don't think we do, but wow.
Yeah, they have. The only thing is they're
Oh,
very,
no,
very
no,
strong
no.
and hard to
We
pull
got
apart if you don't
Yeah,
have those
They,
dividers.
they come with the dividers. Yeah, if you get them together, you can get them apart. The trick
Oh,
is
shoot.
to put them on
Slide
the
'em.
edge. Put them on the edge of something and push,
Yeah.
because you have to slide them apart.
Yes, yes, Max. That's it. Yeah, that's you slide them. I was gonna
Yeah.
tell you,
you
you
have to
move
slide
those
them
magnets.
Yeah.
Don't pull them
My
apart.
my wife got all 4 stuck together after she opened the package.
And they will actually hurt you too if you got them laying
Oh yeah,
around and
they
you're
will
working on
they
something.
will pinch skin. They will take
They
some.
will hurt you.
Oh, yeah. They're
Right
powerful.
on.
We've got
That's
3 on
great.
our fridge. They're little ones, but they're deep. They're small around, but they're deep, like an inch
Yeah.
deep.
So you want to be
powerful.
sure that the magnet you're using will do the distance, that the field extends out to like 8 inches, like the magnet I showed you. So that way it will
Yeah.
actually penetrate your body. If you're using a smaller, tiny magnet, it might only have a field of a few inches.
Right.
So the size will make a huge difference.
Size matters, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Sorry.
written on the magnetic strip, Scott.
Sorry, but it does matter.
I had to go there.
Dee
You
did
had
her.
to go there, Paula.
It's me. It's what I do.
Yeah, it's what
So
you
yeah,
do. It's what we do.
these compasses you can get a compass at the dollar store for a couple dollars. They're not expensive.
So they're pointing at Mount Meru, right, Max? Like like the natural the draw
Yeah.
of north. Like that is that black, the one the one that's not on the map, right? The one that we know is
The
under
north is the
ice.
white. The north is the white here in a photon, right? That's a photon.
Yep.
So that's the electron, and that's the dark matter, if you want to call it.
Yep.
Yes.
That's basically it. Adam and Eve. Your positive, negative, whatever.
Yeah.
Because this is an odd number of particles.
Yeah.
Don't know really what to call them. Etheric particles of electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you're taking a balloon and you're scraping it against your head, you're making those things get all active and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm using, and positive is always on the top, and the
Right.
negative on the bottom in a field. At least that's how it's described.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Ether, plasma, ether.
Yeah. Plasma, ether. They're pretty much the same thing, because you look at even like here's where it's been that light particle there, or a similar one, has been exploded or put through a venturi, right? And it's hitting into the ether. These it's actually scrubbing against the ether, whatever that is.
Right.
That's magnetic pull, right? Like that's a picture of a magnet grabbing onto a magnet, right? Or
No, that's a picture of this that went through a venturi. So all the white particles go through the middle,
right.
and all the black particles, they split up into a whole ton of particles, or little black dots.
Right.
They go around the outside because they won't go through the middle. They're too big. Or so they don't do that. And they join up on the other side. Oh. But they're scrubbing against something before.
Hello again.
Right?
Yes.
They're hitting against something because they're increasing in energy. They're not decreasing in energy.
The field.
Right.
The field. They're okay. Wild. Man.
Mhm.
Like vanity's old vanity. Like look at just even my teeth thing.
Love
Right?
you guys
Like, I got my
too.
teeth, it looks great, but I mean they're gonna be gone in a couple months. That's crazy. Or a year or two. That's crazy. Weird.
Well, if you do what Max is doing, he stops his toothaches and he stops himself from
Yeah, mine
losing
stopped
his
falling out, man.
Yeah, no more pain. Like that's what I mean. Like I got no more pain and everything. The thing is, like when I look at my teeth, like why can't I just keep these now?
Well, you can make something like this here. Like I use this.
I'm gonna
This
try.
is easy. This is easy. This is one of the best. This is the first thing I came up with. Was the hold on? Where am I?
Like with this positive thing, like that might be the other thing that like the teeth are getting stronger too because there's no more pain.
Yeah, get a chain. Any metal chain will do. It will work. Copper would be the best, and just wrap a piece of wire around a 9-volt battery, connect it to the negative pole, and hook it up to the chain, and put that around your neck.
Yes.
That's how I stopped my
I
teeth from
think,
falling out.
does it work with rechargeable ones, John?
It probably would, but the rechargeable ones, I don't know. It should work just the same, right? Oh, I did that.
But I don't think that rechargeables, for this is my opinion, because my husband does recharge batteries. They do not last as long. And I think and that's in a device, but I feel like if you are wearing it on you and using it that way, it's going to drain it even more because of your energy field. So, and what you're using it for. So I would not use rechargeable batteries for that.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to have to run some
I
experiments.
tried rechargeable batteries, and they didn't feel right. I don't know how to explain it, really.
Well, there you go.
Other than that,
Didn't
it
feel
just
right.
didn't feel right.
Well, they
There
are
you go.
made different constituents.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
At least my experience. I bought a 9-volt rechargeable, and I tried that.
I
I
love
don't know.
my.
I'd have to do more experimentation, but they're very expensive.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is they're so expensive. If only there was something we could do to.
I remember
Uh,
volt
Well, the
charger always taking that
rechargeables are
9 volt
more
Yeah,
plug.
I can't say that they don't work. I just
Oh, they work. I mean, they work. The batteries work.
they
Yeah,
should
it's not
work.
the same. It's not the same draw. It doesn't have the same electrical. It's really different, Max. You know what I'm saying? It's a different
Yeah.
feed. It's like
It's different.
yeah, I'm
it's
just
the
trying
thing
to
I
figure
feel
out how we can get it to last longer because they are expensive, 9
when you
volts.
go to the pharmacist and you get that name
Not
brand,
at the dollar store. I buy mine at the dollar store.
and then you get
Yeah.
that generic
So,
one.
Yeah, but the dollar store ones don't last as long.
I find they last almost as long. Not quite, but
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
good try.
not as
yeah,
long, but pretty long. Yeah.
If you
yeah.
don't
Because
want it,
all they're doing is they're waiting in reserve for your body to overcharge. So whatever overcharge you're getting is going to go to that battery. So it might be probably I would say maybe a 25% difference. But the difference in price, like a dollar store 9 volts, only what $2 or something, you
Mhm.
know, and a rechargeable is around
Mhm.
20, 29. They're really expensive.
yeah, there's a
Mhm.
Le Chateau brand here, and they're like $1 for, and then like $2 for the 9 volt
Yeah,
because they're more expensive than the package
but
triple
do
A.
experiment with them. Hi, Mary.
I definitely have interest in that. Of course, I've been making some stuff. I did some stuff with copper. I suppose I might be. I'm even thinking of making some kind of a necklace like that.
Well, this works, but I think that if it was actually in copper, it would work better.
Yes.
It
I've got
seemed
copper wire. I've
yeah,
got
it
copper.
seemed to
My
work better
question
with
is,
it seemed to work better with just a copper wire, but it was very uncomfortable, and you know, it was just very uncomfortable, and it was stiff, right? So it wasn't,
right?
like a
But
necklace.
I have links made of copper wire.
Oh,
I
okay.
make them. I link them together.
Okay.
So that's how I solved that to make it more flexible.
What, big links or tiny links? Do you have a link maker?
No, but what I did was it's the way I twisted them. So I twisted, I'll see if I can find one of my, but I have copper core wire, I have
Nice.
silver plated and gold plated copper core.
Okay.
So I think gold plated, it's expensive, but I have gold plated copper core. I figure that should be pretty darn conductive.
Silver is the best antenna.
Silver's the best antenna. Okay, well, I got both. And
Yeah.
I'll show
Silver, I
you.
think it goes like silver, copper. Let me just check, see if I can find that.
I'm just wondering if the coating, because I've got some that's got this pretty colors on it, they're kind of anodized. I'm wondering if that would hinder it any. Because
Oh,
I'm wearing one right now.
they call that. Shoot.
I'm not sure. I don't know how to
It's
test
colored
that.
copper. What do they
Yeah,
call
they
it? It's
say
not
copper. Copper is the best, but other ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I've got some pure copper too.
I'd have to find you like a list. That would take some
Yeah,
research.
pure copper.
But it's
That'd
like
be
copper, silver, gold, um, and then a bunch of others. Something like that.
Let me look in my stuff here. I'll see if I can show off some of it.
So yeah, for antennas, the most preferred
I
metal is copper, due to its
I do
superior
have my
conductivity and radiation characteristics. Copper is a highly conductive metal, is able to transmit radio waves in minimal losses. So
So I was wondering, is there any way besides how you feel? I got my Q link in my hand.
oh, how'd that go? They're good, eh?
Yeah, as far as I can tell,
Yeah, I don't
I
know what
do
they're.
feel better.
I
I
don't know
don't
what they're
know
doing.
why. Let me.
I'm wondering if it's exactly like the smart patch or the super patch. I'm wondering if they're using that to log into you. I don't have mine anymore. I don't know where it is.
Let's see if I can get it. Well, the problem is that doesn't have the light on it. Oh, come on. How am I going to show you this?
It did help. I bought one. It did help. But right now, I'm thinking that it's more.
There, you can see it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like the super patch where they're actually logging into you. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, though, right? Because what they're doing is negating the negative effects of what they're doing to us.
Well, my
You
question
just have to
is,
pay for it.
Max, how is this
Charging us
working
for it when intended.
if it's in
Charge.
plastic?
Huh?
How is this working in plastic, inside encased in plastic
Plastic's not a barrier.
and on a cord?
Plastic's not a barrier. A lot of metals now aren't even a barrier.
So I can just use a coil like this. Is that what you're saying?
No. That coil there is probably connected to your Wi-Fi devices. And that in turn connects to your body.
How does that connect to my Wi-Fi device is what I want to know.
Just through vibrations.
So how do you get it to do that? Do you know?
Yeah, that's like the stuff I've been showing you earlier in the show.
Okay, because I'd like to know how to make these. It's just a copper coil.
Oh, well, you have to get the frequency bandwidth, and you have to be able to lease the MAC address, because what they're doing is they're getting it. Well, this one itself, I don't know. The newer ones, you actually have to give a QR code so they know who you are, so they can find your MAC address and log
See, I
in.
never did that with this one.
Yeah, I know. That one is low grade. It's just a hack, I think, for your body. Just a low grade hacking.
So the new ones are more elaborate, you're saying?
Yeah.
How would you ever even do the attuning?
Well, they know that. That's years and years of study.
So you have found the new type to be superior to this type?
Yeah, they can hone in on any condition you have.
Okay, because I'm wondering if it's worth it to get a new one, because these are not cheap.
There's Aries Tech. Now I think they're a superior product. Here, let me show you them. Now, if you're willing to get logged into, not that it's not happening already, you know.
Okay, I'm going to take off one of my necklaces so you can see it better.
But what we're engaging in here, like when I bought mine, I learned in the past, half year now, is basically what I'm doing is I'm paying for good health, for them to negate some of the negative effects that they've
That sounds
put on.
a little bit like Fluffy.
So it's problem reaction solution.
There is a company called Fluffy that does that, and you've got to give them your location in order for them to do it. It's some kind of scalar thing, I think. But anyway, this is the way the links that I made. Those are wrapped around beads, but that is copper core right there.
Okay.
See? So it is flexible.
Yeah.
I've made bracelets like this that are flexible copper, so they're not just hard copper, which I think are probably easier on you.
So those links are about an inch or two long, about an inch long links.
About maybe an inch.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I never thought of that way. That's cool.
So that's the way that I've been doing it. So I'm thinking that, see, here's another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I've been making them. And I did make a bracelet that I can slip on like a bangle. If I could find it, I'll show it to you. But I can slip it on like a bangle, and it's made like that. And it's much more comfortable than,
I think Fluffy is different, Scotty boys. Fluffy is more frequency based.
Yeah, it's frequency based.
Yeah,
I'll just let you see me. You've seen me before. Hello.
but you shouldn't have to pay for that.
What, seeing me? No, you don't
No,
have to
no,
pay.
the fluffy.
Unless you want to see me naked. No,
They
I'm
charge
kidding.
you. They charge you for the fluffy, don't they?
Yeah, they charge for the fluffy. I got it for a while. It was nice to have.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good. You know.
Yeah, I liked it while I had it, and I think it was probably I got it when I first moved here. It was about $35 a month though.
Yeah,
And I got it when I first moved
that's what it is.
here.
They're going to charge us for good health from now on.
Well, of course.
You know, you're going to
And
pay
Of
for it one way
course.
or the other. You're going to pay for it in supplements. You're going to pay for it in frequencies. You're going to pay for it in electronics. You're going to pay for it some way.
this helps a lot, dude.
Yeah,
This is just selenite.
selenite. Yeah, I can tell it's nice and.
For some reason, and it puts out a lot of light. I mean, it really reflects light like crazy. So,
There's
for
one
some
request.
reason, it's very helpful. But if you want me now, I know how this goes.
I'll
I'm
be
going
back.
to make some of these. If you want them, I'll make them available.
That's a
But
good idea. Connect a negative pole of a battery to them too.
yes, well, see, that's what I was thinking. I'm going to work on making them replaceable, so you can just slip out the battery and slip another one in.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. But then I want to also make it kind of stylish looking, so people can wear it, without anybody asking, what the hell is that around your neck, right?
Right.
So I'm
Those
going to work on
necklaces
that.
are nice.
But yeah, when I get back to it, gosh, I have so many projects on the board right now. I have a pair of sticks around and I keep losing them somehow. But I have a pair of sticks around that I did the magnet thing. I glued them and taped them to a stick and to a pair of sticks. And now you can take the sticks and put them on either side of you to alleviate pain on either side of an area for a while, wherever you want to reach them to. So I do have that, and it does work, but those are hard to make because when you try to get those little suckers, you got to be so careful putting them together because those magnets, if you get them anywhere within a foot of each other, they will clack together and destroy each other and just shatter each other.
But
When you
that
work
is said to destroy a nanotech as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very it's a lot of work to do to make. It's careful work to make those. But yeah, I took two. What I took was I can't find it right now. I'm gonna have to look that thing up.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
alternating magnets. You have to alternate them positive and negative pole. I think it was a row of 4 on each paddle. So you alternate them positive and negative. And then when you rub the fields back and forth together, it will stretch and pull on the nanotech, breaking it up.
Okay, so that is a new angle because we didn't do that. We just had that's a new angle, yeah. I didn't know we had to do it.
I've got enough magnets to make one of those now. Those magnets, they're not that expensive. I think they were about
No, they're not. I'll try that next.
Like I paid 14. My wife paid $14 a pack, I think.
But
That's 4.
I found those magnets in very weird places.
Yeah.
I mean, they get lost and then they show up. It's like, where the heck did that go? And then it's like you find it stuck to something metal someday, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got these guys.
My wife lost a couple in the radiator, I think. They're gone.
Yeah.
Up between some of the slats, so forget it.
I got these big mofos right here. These suckers. You can really feel the pull on these.
Imagine it.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's exactly the same size as I've got. Perfect size. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
How are those to? Oh, those are weak.
You know,
Those
yeah,
are
but you
weak.
can feel it in your
Yeah,
mind.
unfortunately, they're not as strong,
Those are weak.
but they're large.
Okay, here I'll show you the two I've got. I'll put them together. This is what you kind of want.
Now, can you do that in your mind?
So
Yeah,
oh,
I know. You cannot pull apart the other ones that easy.
no,
Really hard.
So
those are
cool,
stuck,
man.
right? So you have to slide them apart. The
Slide.
Right.
best way to do that is to take them and put them on the edge of a table or something,
And
and
slide them.
you just push, you put it on the edge, and you slide it so until it gets a little bit apart, and then you can pull it apart.
Yeah. I think, though, even these weaker ones can probably be utilized
Yeah, you can check the field size.
pretty easily in jewelry. What I was thinking is these would go pretty well in jewelry. You could, put
Yeah,
those in the jewelry.
yeah,
Be
you have
careful
to.
around your computers, guys. I know you guys know. I'm just mean like
Yeah.
your
Oh yeah,
job.
you can demagnetize your hard drive
Yeah, like just be really careful. I just wanted to throw that out there, just in case some people
or your phone.
just to
Your
remind people
phone.
that just to remind people to keep that away from any database, that any data, because it's held in data is held in magnetically. That's how we do all this.
They are making phones that are magnetic proof, but they're not all
I
magnetic proof.
can't show you the back of my
You
phone,
you could
obviously,
fry your phone by putting one of these magnets on it. That could
but
fry
I,
your
I,
phone.
It's all
I do have a copper coil, one of those copper coil protectors on the back of my phone.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
one of those. And so I'm not too worried about my phone anymore. I have one of those things on the back of my phone. It seems
yeah.
like I'm having less problem with, like I'm not as strained out by my phone now.
Aries Tech. I was going to show you that. Yeah, this is an interesting thing. I haven't quite figured out how this one works yet.
I need to get more of these. They're not the ultra strong ones.
Now these ones they connect to your
But-
phone. Now they have proof of their protection, but look what they charge: $122 for a one you put on your phone, $289 for a little pendant, a little watch chain pendant, $325. I don't know what even. Oh, for a necklace. Okay, then you can get Max for $474, and this is in Canadian, I think. And then you can get Light Tune, which is something you put in your house. It apparently covers several feet of area. So,
Make one for him.
with AI, I don't know
Make
exactly
some-
because I haven't gotten into patents of this thing. But is this thing registering like wirelessly all of the communications, all of the stuff coming in at you, registering it and negating it? I'm not sure.
it's magnetic frequency waves.
Here's another question. I am wondering, all of these cords that they give us that break, these charger cords that break, they're all obviously conductive. How can we use them?
Well, I set them up around me, okay, like so that I have fields around me.
I mean, could we make those? I'm thinking of trying to make those into jewelry somehow.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's what is it called? Torsion fields, where you wind it clockwise. Hold on, Mary or no, is Mary or Desert Rose?
Mary does the
Yeah,
um,
is she here? Hold on.
sensor ring.
Yeah, Mary. Yeah, the tensor rings. So if you incorporated something like that, like the winding of the wire in a in tensor ring fashion, that would probably do something.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think maybe it might be a way to make use of all of these doggone charger cords that always break on you. Maybe we can take the old charger cords, and make them into something useful again.
Yeah, I have like tensor rings kind of randomly placed around. I have even I have some rather large ones too. Like here, I use this one. You know, this is rather big.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, tensor rings are kind of cool. I don't know that they have that much effect. I've noticed some difference possibly, but I can't guarantee it.
Definitely be worth it to make a circlet to wear on your head, I think. Now
Well,
that's just you wrap them, you wind them, and then you brace them at the end, right?
yeah,
So they're solid. So it's a solid signal going all the way around.
yeah. Around my head, like here, I'll show you guys what I got for my head. So I have a cap. It's a Faraday cap, so it's got Faraday material. It also has a grounded Havana syndrome device in it. So that's a piece of wire that's grounded with 2 loops on the end over your temples. So those are over my temples, those 2 loops you can see there. Yeah, and there's I also put I take one of those magnets, right? And nice thing is you can just slip it right in the front of your cap. Right there.
So that's just lovely. We've been talking about this for what, years now?
Yeah, copper, silver, nickel, copper. Most metals have some properties that will deflect or negate radiation. So some are better than others. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how would I. Is there any way that I would be able to test the chains made with the colored copper wire? How would I find out if that is working or not?
All you can really tell is if it's passing a current through it.
Yeah, that's the thing that you buy from the store. Like, I mean, like it's I got one when I was like 10 from my grandpa. It's got the red and the black thing. It's got the red and the black wire, or like and it's got like the metal on the ends, and it's a tester. You know what I'm saying? It's got the numbers on it, and it's like using it like a digital, just get a digital tester.
I do have a battery tester.
Like it's these are the things like, and they test everything, and we get a little booklet with it. It's like it'll be able to tell you everything. I forget what
Maybe
it's called.
we could use a battery tester, like stick a battery on one end and see if the battery tester is getting it.
Yeah, if you can stick a wire from the positive to the negative pole.
Yeah, positive, negative. It's current.
Right.
What do you call those, Max? Is that what you were getting?
Yeah, I use a multimeter. So this will test forever. This tests voltage and amperage and conductivity and passage of how much it'll pass through a certain area and stuff.
Okay, I'm trying to get away with stuff I already have, so I don't have to buy a bunch.
Those can be cheap. Those aren't too expensive, depending on what you get. Right? They can be like $20 or $200.
Yeah, exactly, Max. Yeah.
The other thing I'm stocking up on is various solar devices.
Okay.
And solar panels, is because if we have and alternative power things. Yeah. I'd still like to know, has anybody done any work on getting the voltage right from the air again? Has anybody done that?
Oh, yeah, to get the voltage right. If we can do it, it's now get the...
the Antiquitech angle.
To adapt.
Well, you can do it with LEDs, apparently, so...
You mean to light up LEDs and stuff?
Huh? No,
Yeah.
like an LED can be used both ways. Like you can use it if you pump energy into it, it will produce light. If you just leave it and let light enter into it, it will create electricity.
Okay, cool,
An
man.
LED?
Yeah, like your screen on your computer.
Liquid crystal display. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, stores too. It's a stores at the same time. Yeah.
yeah.
So if you're shining, say you have a device
It's crystal, right?
that has LED lights.
A screen, any screen, that's
Any
all
screen.
LED. It can power itself pretty much.
Okay, because a lot of flashlights now have LED lights.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my solar,
Yeah, if you take a whole bunch of those and put them in a big panel, all joined together in a circuit, you can produce electricity, and that will
because
last a long, long time because LEDs don't wear out.
so you can kind of make your own solar panel.
Yeah, yep.
Huh. You'd have to solder them on though, right? To some like.
Yeah, you'd
Would
have
you
to
be
be
able to solder them onto something metal, like maybe a metal plate?
Well, they have circuit boards. You can just stick them in little plastic boards, and you just pop them in and connect them together.
I'm gonna have to talk to Jason about that. He likes that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start having fun once you start playing. Like that, they make it's toys for kids. Like when I was a kid, I mean, you guys remember, like that's what you buy. Like that's the toys for kids with the circuits and the stuff and even like the
I
positive.
haven't seen him, but I'm going to look. What do they call them? What's like a name that they call them? I'm gonna look it up on Temu and order something. I'll order. I
Okay.
got
Hmm.
I got free gifts coming from them all the time, by the way, because
Okay.
of the way that I'm playing it.
A simple board, you know, it'll just have
Mm,
holes drilled into it.
a simple board with holes drilled into
You
it.
like
Oh.
yank a mother out of a
Yeah,
computer.
you go to an electronics store.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have to go to an electronics store. I don't drive.
Oh,
I want to know what to ask for because I'm probably going to order it from Temu or Amazon.
No, it's
What I'm
odd.
looking for.
It's odd because any would have to. I mean, you could get one, but we'd have to think for a second because it's not a product that would ever be sold. Isn't that wild? That's wild. You just asked a question. You know what I mean? Like in your innocence. Like another. That's wild. You asked that because I was like, wait, where would you buy a board? Because they usually come in things, other things that you buy. And I would never even think, like in my brain right now, I can't think where I would go or what I would ask for to have someone come out and hand me a board. And even to ask that question, that's wild. I wouldn't even know how to articulate it. I would have to sit here and think the words in order for them to understand what it was I was asking for, and then for them to back to me, dude, nobody sells that. Like, what do you mean? I can get you a board. Like, I can go to the garbage and get you a board. I know, and that's what. See, that's the thing because like it shouldn't cost much, but then again, it could be way expensive because demand, right? It's like, wait, who wants a board? Like, how often does somebody want a board? Just a board.
So
You
it
do that,
might
right?
really be.
Determine other things.
You know what? It would maybe behoove somebody to do. One of us who can do this. Go out behind an electronics store and raid their trash.
No, I mean they give them
Dumpster
to us
dive. Take all the
fast.
boards
We
you
probably
can
wouldn't even
get
throw it in
and
the
grab
trash.
them and sell them. You know, you could maybe make
I
some
imagine
coin
like
that way if you knew what you were
they
looking
people
for.
boards too. So I mean, like electronic guys, they'll have a bin and they'll just throw them in that because they'll want to be able to go to that bin just for that very reason. Oh hey, I want to solder something. Oh here's an old board. Because you know what I'm saying, right? They would only throw those out very once in a while, I would imagine. So it's not like groceries from a grocery store where you're gonna find like you know what I mean, like the milk going sour. You know what I mean? Like if you grab it up before it goes sour. I just mean like you'd be better off saying, hey, can I get a board? And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. It's like you're like, hey man, I'll give you $10. Okay, well thanks. You know what I mean? Well here, have a couple. Like here, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you'd have more than you'd ever need. Like, you know, you'd walk away with like 6 boards or whatever, like out of computers or whatever, you know. But you could, I think you could probably like I'm trying to think of where you'd go, like for just trash. Or maybe you should go to a junkyard. I'm even thinking of like a metal place. You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh yeah, we've got some old, we've got computers.
That's not.
Yeah, old computers over there with boards in each one of them. Sure, give us 50
See, if
cents.
I could see it, I could maybe find it. If I could see what you're talking about, because I can't think of what you're talking about. It's
Green
like
board.
not in my.
Green circuit board, right, Max?
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like this.
I can't see that very well.
Oh, okay. Let me make it
You
bigger.
need to largen it.
Let me find me. Oh,
Okay.
no, there we go.
There you go. There
Oh,
it is. That was
those
really Max.
things.
I was wondering about. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's it. Praise God. That is it. Glory.
So it's just a plain old circuit board.
Glory. Oh,
Yeah, nothing on
look
it.
at it. Look at it though. But think about how difficult it is, Max, right? Like to have it so perfect like that.
So it's got a bunch of holes in it, and you stick the positive and negative of the LED through each hole,
You're also
and you line them all up. And then whether, depending on the voltage you want to try to create, you connect different rows in series or parallel, whether you want to up the voltage or whether you want to keep the voltage low.
You know where? I know exactly where.
But
You can get a bunch of LEDs.
But look up how to wire in series or parallel, right? And you'll have to do some testing and figure out how much voltage you'll get out of each cell, and ramp that up in. I think is it parallel? Yeah, in parallel to up the voltage to a usable level, and then the remaining circuits you have to put in series so that you've up to the right voltage. But then you're increasing the amperage with each extra series of that voltage that you create.
Because he gave me a bunch of little LEDs that you pop off.
Okay, if they have two little wires sticking out of them,
yeah,
those are usable. Yeah.
I have some.
Yeah, you have to put them in series to up the voltage there, Scotty. Definitely. It'll be very low voltage to start. Yeah. Depends on the LEDs too, what they'll produce as well. Sorry, Paul, I didn't see you drop out there.
So,
yeah, I dropped
well, this is great.
Everything froze up on me. Yeah. But
Be right back.
But yeah, I was at least able to hear what you guys were talking about. That was quite interesting.
Yeah.
We definitely need to do all of these little things to take care of ourselves.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. These are like natural fiber optics cables.
Oh, right. Yeah.
These are long fibers.
Yeah.
And they transmit. If you put light, wait a minute, let me find a light that I can use. But if you put light, this thing lights up like crazy.
Yeah.
We could, oh man, we could use selenite. Maybe we don't have to just use copper. Maybe we can use selenite. Because you can get chunks of selenite like this very cheap. This.
Really?
Yes.
That looks like a pretty
you can
big
get a bunch of them for $5.
Really?
You can spend $5 and have a bundle of off of Temu. You can order them right off Temu. Have a bunch of them for $5. That's how I gridded the place. I gridded the place with these things. They work very good for gridding a place.
Yeah, you can store information on magnetic data strip.
Selenite. Just look up selenite sticks. They're so cheap. Really. I've found them like $5 for $3 or something, or 10 for. I've even come up with like there's a set that comes that's totally selenite that was like $25, and it had all kinds of selenite stuff in there. It had just a pile of stuff and 25 little sticks of selenite. And
here's a video by Nigel Cooper. He worked for the Navy, I believe, the British Navy. But he describes this type of technology with the LED lights on a panel and a few other things. So I'll put that in private chat too, so you guys can have a look at it.
I'm thinking there's got to be some kind of way we can utilize selenite. And then selenite is a self-cleaning stone. You don't have to cleanse it and recharge it. It's constantly recharging itself, obviously, because it's always moving light through it. That's my theory. It's always moving so much light through it that's constantly, they say this is the one stone you don't have to ever recharge. It's like constant cleansing itself.
Nice.
And other stuff you put it in with all your other jewelry, and it'll cleanse all your other jewelry too, probably for the same reason. How interesting. I think we're onto something.
He also has other interesting ideas for energy devices. He has the idea of putting a copper wire grounded through a loop of magnets.
Yep.
That will apparently draw as much energy as you need from the earth, from the sky to the earth.
Wild. I see it, Max. I see it.
You know, so what it does is it comes down and you have a ring of magnets with the negative pole pointed in, and you run a loop of copper through that twice, and then down through the device to the ground. So that's the antenna device to draw the energy in. The negative. I best figured it out. The negative polarity of the magnets keeps a charge positively forced down somehow.
Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Because nobody understands the Antiquitech anymore. That's why the buildings, maybe that's how it happens. Maybe that's how the buildings catch fire. Somebody F's with the Antiquitech. It's built for drawing in a signal. It's built for drawing in electricity. And if it's in a very tall building, it's probably drawing in a lot of electricity.
Yeah, a lot of them used to have big iron posts or chains that hung down from the middle.
Yeah,
there is a place in India that has that Antiquitech on the top. And there are times when people have taken pictures of it, and you can see like
that
sort
temple,
of blue sparks.
With the sparks coming out of it.
Yeah.
You hear it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've also got, and in that building, I think it's the same building, they've got a Yanni and Lingam, and the real actual use of the Yanni and Lingam stone wasn't just to worship. It was some kind of an energy generator. Because but there has to be what it's like. You have the Lingam and the Yanni. The Yanni has to contain some water, though. That's probably for conductivity. But he says there's one temple where you go where people line up to go see it. But the closer that you get to it, the hotter you get, because it generates a bunch of heat. And so people are worshiping it, and actually it was probably generating heat and power.
It's got to be radium, like those panels with the thing. Like, yeah, that'd be wild. Generating heat from the panel from the radium.
No, it's not radioactive, though.
It's not? That's wild, then.
It is wild. I'd like to know.
He describes the magnetic field, and it's more like the flower of life than it is They describe it when we see how they describe how the torus field works and how
Mhm.
magnetic work. They show us a two-sided, um, like an apple. It's got just positive and negative, but it also, as he shows here, it's also got side to side. What happens is it doesn't go like in the top in the positive and come out the bottom. What it does is it goes in the top and goes out around the outside, and then comes back in and comes out the negative bottom. So it does actually like a whole spin around.
I got a question. Have we got the purpose of ring mail wrong? There is a configuration of ring mail that is pretty much based on the flower of life. I mean, it intersects like the flower of life.
Hmm.
It's not just like a chain. It's like they all touch each other. I'm wondering now,
Here's another energy device.
what was that really protective from? Was it just protective, supposed to be protective from weapons, physical weapons, or was that more?
I don't know.
I'm wondering now. That's interesting.
So what he has here is basically a bunch of magnets put together.
Mhm.
It's 11, and what he does is he holds them in position, and then the 11th one, you can turn it, and what you end up getting is a field that will start rotating like a corkscrew
Yeah.
all the way up the magnets, and you can utilize that by putting metallic propellers on the outside that can spin.
Right on.
Yeah, because kinetic energy can be translated into energy.
Yep. Yeah, you can turn the magnetic into physical, and then you can turn the physical into electric. So here's he's
Yeah,
showing.
you can turn kinetic energy into electric. That's how windmills and
Yep.
everything else works.
Yep.
Aha. Well, what do you want to bet that the Yanni and the Lingam, that there's some kind of magnetic or something thing there going on?
Yeah, I don't know what they've got something going on because they're all made of like different types of stone that have conductive properties.
It could be a magnetic stone, or it could be a
And
conductive
then,
stone.
some of them are
They're
so
all
deep.
got their thing.
Some of them are
But-
so deep too. They're like tapping right into the Earth's field.
Yeah, and you'd never run out of energy, which is the one thing they certainly don't want us to figure out.
Now, there's one of them that still is hot, that they have to cool constantly. There's one of them that's kind of, I don't know if it's operational, but it's still doing something,
Yeah, they have to keep putting water in it.
Yeah. The whole temple is like full of steam.
Yep. That's exactly what's going on. My God. And then you'd have, well, all that a nuclear power plant is a great big steam engine, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you could get the Yanni Lingham technology going, you could have that without nukes. You were completely safe. Except, I suppose it could generate enough heat to. Maybe that's some of the melted buildings we see.
Maybe.
If something would go wrong with that technology, or maybe some of these older places that catch on fire, the roof is on fire, the roof.
Some areas released the terrible weapons that caused the terrible winds and melted everything and turned to sour.
Well, that too. But I think maybe some of these places burned because their roofs were, maybe their technology went bad. If you screwed up the technology somehow, or maybe there was nobody to cool it down.
Atlantis, their wickedness grew so bad that they sunk, right? So it was probably with their technology. They were doing
The
creepy stuff
proverbial,
there.
the
Yeah.
proverbial meltdown.
Like they were creating human suffering beyond compare.
Well, yeah. But think of it, they were surrounded by
And they're
salt water,
doing it again.
seawater. Isn't seawater like pretty conductive?
Yep.
Oh shit.
Not too
They
bad.
were probably building whole buildings that were batteries, weren't they?
Why not?
You
Sure.
could
they could.
probably build a building that's like a huge battery.
Well, like with the old towers, okay, everywhere in existence, okay, everything in our part of the universe, anyways, I believe it's different in others because it's a torus field. In this part of our universe, we're in the magnetic part of it. We're coming out of the bottom. We're not in a gathering together. So everything around us is pushing apart. It's positively charged on the outside and negatively charged on the inside. Everything. So what they do with these buildings is they separate that. They use like a metal post inside a casing of metal. And the outside would be positively charged, and the inside post would be more negatively charged. And you could use that differential to use on like a device like a light or a motor or anything. You could get electricity out of that.
Because one of my friends said she has this random memory that she cannot prove how this happened, but those round things that you see in the Catholic Church, they have these round ball things that they have some kind of a holy
the
object.
incense balls where they swing them around
The incense,
No,
or the thing they hold.
on top of the church. You mean?
Usually a crown on it.
that thing that they hold.
Okay.
I guess it's a
orb.
decoration now.
An
She
orb with a
seems,
cross on the top.
huh?
An orb
Orb
with
with
a cross on the top.
It's an orb with a cross on the top. She says she remembers that at the old churches, what we'd call a church, people would go Sunday. They'd play and the way that it would work is that they would be playing the music to health and to strengthen people,
Mm-hmm.
and also you would lay your family, that goes in, and those balls actually went in the old-fashioned fireplaces, which were not to be used with the way that we use fireplaces.
I wonder if then you heat up your bed with it.
No, you'd heat up your whole place with it.
Okay, well there you go.
Because she said they would, her memory is, you would take your ball to church, put it on in this special place to get it charged up. Everybody bring in their stuff, sit it in this area. It would get all charged up during the service while you were listening to the beautiful music and whatever, frequency music. And then you'd pick up your ball and you'd take it home, put it in your fireplace, and you would have energy.
Makes sense.
And that was how things worked back then.
That makes total sense that you would go somewhere to get your power, and that it would be also the resident place, the place of the spiritual place. That's wild.
There are these kiosks that they make where they have a metal roof. The whole thing, I think, is made of metal, but they have these metal roofs and they self-light because of the differential in the positive charge of the roof and the negative charge of the ground, because ground is negative. So it's the positive always trying to get to the negative. So if you can trap that positive charge before it gets to the ground, you can utilize it by putting a device between that. You can gather the energy that way.
Yeah, we have
That's why the whole
certainly lost a
explanation of
lot.
positive and negative.
We have really lost a lot.
Yeah, we were much smarter. They're teaching us bullshit science right now.
Yeah, anybody that practically comes out with something and then tries to give it to the masses gets
Yeah.
Oh,
Like this. This here. This is science right here. That's science.
Mhm.
Start working with that because that's the smallest particle in existence. Those
Yep.
those smallest particles in existence right there. That's it. You can't
As
get
a
no
matter of
smaller.
fact, I kind of believe there are no actual particles. I just
They're
think,
not really particles. No, they're not particles.
yeah,
So
I'm really thinking
the
that
only reason my fingers
particles are a
can't go,
figment of the scientific
the
imagination.
only reason my fingers can't go together is because they're both positively charged on the outside. Can't happen. Every cell is positively charged on the outside, so that creates a field that will not push through it. Not going to happen. You can't take two positive poles of a magnet and push them together very easily.
Yeah.
And if they're strong enough magnets, you're never going to push them together.
Yep.
But if you had a way of negating that, you could phase right through something.
Yeah, if you could vibrate properly, maybe.
Oh, match the frequency, right, Matt?
That's how they're doing it.
Frequency.
You'd have to somehow get between the magnetic pulses.
Yeah, but then so I mean, you have to be able to dissipate completely yourself.
And I don't even know if it's a pulse because it might be a continuous flow, so that might make it even harder.
Yeah.
Somehow you have to get between the pulses.
Wow.
Or the frequency somehow.
Wow. It'd be that'd be very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we can actually build solar panels with LEDs and boards.
Yeah, I don't know how much power they're going to produce, though. It depends.
That may be what Jason was talking about. He was talking about building some solar panels, and I said, "How are you going to do that?" He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I'll show you sometime," but he hasn't.
Yeah, watch the video. Watch the video that I shared. Okay, because
Where?
I shared it in private chat.
Ah, okay, hang on.
I shared it in chat. I'll share it again.
Oh,
But watch that video. He's got a lot of great ideas. Got some interesting ideas on cancer,
Yeah.
on power, on magnetics, on energy. It's a good video. Gives
hang
you some
on.
alternative ways of looking at things for sure.
Oh, shoot.
And probably much more proper because what he says about the electromagnetic field presents itself right here. He talks about there is a disc here. It's hard to see, but there is a disc there.
Okay.
It extends out to about there. You can see it. Can you see it in the middle there?
I can see it.
So what happens is a field, like you go in the top, say, right? And what happens is you don't go at the bottom. What happens is you go.
Hang on, I got to get back there. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing the link that you shared.
Oh, okay.
Somehow. Okay.
So what happens is in a torus field, because this is a torus field right here, you can see the accretion disk. So what happens is the electron or the ether actually, because what's happening is this is scrubbing against the ether as it goes along. So what happens is that energy goes in. It doesn't go down to the negative and go around. What it does is it goes in, and then it goes out, around, a couple of times. I don't know how many times, but then it goes back into the negative. It goes out and comes back in, and does the whole circuit again in almost a flower pattern.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's more of a flower of life pattern than anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely is.
IEEE is the hi Alfred, International Electronics Engineering and something else. They're your standards and testing people for electronics. Here, let me just pull that up for you there. Okay, go. So here, share this tab. So the IEEE is the world's largest technological professional organization dedicated to advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. What's the purpose of the IEEE? The IEEE's core purpose is to foster technological innovation and excellence for the benefit of humanity. So that's what it is. It's the Institute of Electronics and Electrical and Electronics Engineering. I hope that answers your question there. Oh, I wasn't sharing that.
Oh no,
Is that
she's
shared?
gone. She's gone. Poof.
Oh no,
She disappeared like
what
me.
happened?
Everything keeps, well, what keeps happening to me might have been happening to her, is all y'all start moving real slow in slow motion. I can hear your voices in real time, but you're moving in slow motion. And then I eventually have to leave and come back up. And I tried
Oh,
that twice before you were able to even see me back there. So StreamYard might have been hiding me from you too.
okay. No, I just don't look down. There's a slide bar I have to use, and if I don't look down and see that little bit of your icon sitting there, I'll miss you. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, the IEEE is the Institute of Electronics and or Electrical and Electronic Engineering. But they're in control of all your wireless, your infrastructure, your electrical infrastructure, things you can purchase, your refrigerators, stoves, air conditioners,
She's
phones,
back.
computers. Yep, there you go. And they work with DARPA too.
Hi. Every time I touch anything like that link to copy it or anything, I just get thrown out.
Yeah, did you get the link?
I got the link. I managed to get the link, but that's how I got thrown out too. As I touched that link, I got the link, and as I copied the link, I got thrown out and into the
Yeah.
link.
Okay. Well, as
I
long as you
just
got the
hold
link,
my
that's
finger down.
as long as you
I
got
just
the
put
link.
my finger on the link and then let a window open and then tell it to open in a new tab. And then you never have to leave this page and that
Well,
won't
I was
happen.
trying to do that,
Yeah.
but it wasn't happening that way.
Oh,
I
I
was
see.
working on that. That was how I was
But
trying
it
to do
just
it.
didn't go well. Okay.
Yeah, for some reason, it just decided it was going to go very differently. But
Yeah, StreamYard's got some bugs in it. Needs to update itself.
Workers.
oh, brother, my StreamYard is so effed up sometimes that when I did the
Mhm.
typical skeptic podcast, and I did a pretty good job, everybody thinks I did a good job on that podcast. I pushed some button and
I
I
saw
couldn't see the host anymore.
that.
I couldn't see the picture, the video part. I had to do the whole
Oh
show
no.
just from
I did see that,
Wow.
Dee. That was good. Yeah.
from sound alone.
Wow.
So I was glad. I hope I looked okay.
Yeah.
I sound alone.
So here's what
So,
I've been monitoring as the upcoming IEEE 802.11 architecture. Now, it doesn't outlay the human body interaction as easily as the other documents that I identified for you. But when you get into things like MAC address, MAC, that's multimedia access and control. Okay. And all of us, we are part of that. Because in the Internet of Things, when they say the IoT. They'll have a capital I, that little O, and T. Okay,
Yeah.
what they did is they did the Internet of Things. They gave everything in existence, everything on the surface of the planet, a MAC address. So you have a MAC address. Every creature that is born will get a MAC address, and that happens wirelessly. Um, so you are. This is where it mentions you. Now, this is what I'm just monitoring. I don't know if they're maybe coming up with better technologies that aren't as destructive to our physiology. Um, I, I I don't know. But most things seem to be able to be used either way, anyways.
Yes, it depends. Are you using it for good or evil?
Yeah. So this, they're talking more about using radio waves, which I think what they're doing is they're prepping the system for war. They're taking it back to a lower,
Yes.
more base unit, like just a simple transmitter receiver of a lower network. They don't have to use 3G, 4G, 5G.
Right.
They're going back to radio waves, which are much lower bandwidth. And there are documents that I have on how they're attempting to get the right components into the human body so that it will power the internet itself.
Right.
Mm. And then they'll charge us for it.
Right? Yeah.
Which
Well,
they're going
I
to.
don't think you'll have access to it at that point. I think that'll be just for them. But they'll run it
Probably.
through us. They'll do all their computations through us, like they did with the blockchain and all that.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin, blockchain, part of the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
So this expansion, because the human body is in the 802 megahertz range. That's the access point. Is this 802? Now it's 0.045 or 0.45 was a previous bandwidth they're using, but they've used others. So, but this 802 megahertz seems to be the access point for the human body.
Wow.
802 adds up to 10, adds up to 1.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
802 megahertz. Okay. I think I can remember that, maybe. You know what we were talking about earlier today, me and Paul were talking about how people have been so completely dumbed down and people don't even know it. That
Yeah.
we cannot understand things that they understood. He said somebody put a book in his hands and said, read this page, but don't look at the cover. He said one of his friends did this little trick to him and said, well, what does that seem like? What do you think that is from? And he read and he said, oh, well, that kind of sounds like maybe a book that from college, right? That's like a college reader of some kind. And he said, okay, now look at the cover. And it was like a grade school book. So apparently in an earlier era, the grade school kids it was like a fourth grader book. We're reading at the fourth grade. We're reading at a college level. Whereas today we have people in college reading at a grade school level and not able to write in cursive, some of them. And I'm like, Okay, and when we look
Yeah.
at the writings of some of the people, even the founders of our country, their writings were at a much higher level than most people today can write. And I'm like, people have no idea how much we've been dumbed down. How and we attribute a lot of that to, of course, the frequency technology and also the toxins in the food and stuff, and the air and stuff.
Hmm.
The neurotoxins, which make you stupid, especially the fluoride. There's no way that any of this stuff should be allowed, but it is somehow. If you're trying to keep your population healthy.
Well,
So
they're criminals.
obviously they're not.
Here's what they think of us: electroquasitic animal body communication for untethered rodent bipedal recording, biopotential recording. We're rodents to them, you know.
Yeah.
And because people don't know about this technology, they pretty much are, because they're running around in this little maze, and these assholes are fucking with them, and they don't
Pretty
know it.
much.
And they don't know it. They don't know it at all. They think
And
they're just tired and sore and cranky because life sucks. But life
Right.
doesn't suck. It's because they
no,
make life suck.
they make
Yeah, they
life
make life
suck, and
suck on
that's why it's
purpose.
not right.
Yeah, like
It's
look
bad
at Morgan
existence.
tonight. Morgan had a lucky day. He hit an epiphany. So his body
Right.
is just exuding field,
Yeah.
and everything coming in is going to do nothing to him at this moment. You know? And if we could all feel like that or think like that all the time, you wouldn't have the effects. Life would be different. But they're constantly bombarding you, and unless you have these epiphanies now, life is hard.
Well, that's why I recommend everybody go to the frequency videos
Well, yeah,
and find a frequency that
that
feels
would be
good
good
to
stuff.
you and play it.
I listen to 532 and 532 and 428 every night.
I
Uh,
feel like I really don't get much out of the lower frequencies. I need the higher ones for anything to happen.
well, find something that works for
Some
you.
of us are like that. I need like at least 111.
Well,
Something like
they
that.
have different effects. They affect different things.
I know.
So higher or lower, like that's not like you may
Some of us,
or you can find ones that are resonant, but they will all have an amplitude that goes from the higher to the lower.
yeah.
So, but like there are good ones like 4.2 Abrams healing. The low ones have huge impact. That's why you like the drumming.
Yeah.
Because drumming is around you do around, I don't know, 1.2 to 2 hertz, which is all very healing and very. I could get my lists out, but that in that range, you're putting people in like a what
A
is it,
trance.
alpha, beta, delta state.
Yeah. You learn how to, and that's the rhythm that shamans use to travel.
Yeah, because you can feel it when you're drumming it out, right? So
Yep.
you're feeling it, so you're just going, "Yep, okay, this is what we're doing."
Yep. This is the range it's got to be. I'm not feeling,
Yeah,
I'm not going, oh, gee,
yeah.
I
If you
have
were
to
going
count or
faster or
anything. No.
slower, you wouldn't have the right feeling, and that's because the
Right.
low frequency hertz that you're drumming out is having a really huge impact.
And it does too, actually. It's, I can really tell when I don't drum for a while.
So do not dismiss the lower frequencies. I know
I'm
there's the
not.
connotation that higher frequencies, higher elevation of mood is associated with higher frequencies, but the healing property of the lower frequencies is a whole different ballgame from thinking.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand that part, but it's that when I'm trying to get a particular thing that's not just Um, oh, like to feel to calm down or whatever when I'm working on something in particular. When I'm using my Z app or my something like that, I just noticed that I feel the effects of the higher frequencies
Yeah, I use
much
432
more
and
immediately.
528 for, yeah, but I use those specifically because that's DNA and RNA repairing. That's what those two are specifically
Ah,
for.
okay.
And they're a magical pair.
So
If
those
if
numbers
you
are
look
what again? So people can write them
up
down.
28 and 432, those are a magical pair um, for the human body. Um,
Okay.
yeah, let me hold on. Let me just search up something for you.
So okay, because I didn't get the first one because it was like as I was finishing what I was saying, I'm actually going to write them down to make sure I get the right ones here.
Yeah, I use two 8-hour videos on YouTube to do that.
And the
Them.
I'm sorry, the numbers again.
528 hertz.
528. Yeah, I know that one. That one's what? Miracle frequency?
Yeah, miracle tone and frequency of transformation and of love. This
Okay.
makes 528 an incredible manifestation frequency, is believed to resonate at the core of our being, promoting balance, healing, and transformation. 432 is known to help with the relaxation, calmness, and inner peace. And those two are synonymous with each other because they work in harmony.
Yeah, it's interesting too because sometimes I've even experimented with playing a couple of tones together.
Yeah, those are one of the few pairs that you can play. That's why I don't play binaural beats or anything like that. I don't do those
Mm.
things. I only
No,
use
I gave
pure,
up on binaural beats.
yeah, I only use pure tones because uh,
Mhm.
I know what they're doing. I can look up
Uh-huh.
charts and like corroborate those with different charts to see if that's the effects it's supposed to have, and then I can play a frequency on a video, and I have a frequency generator on my phone, so I can compare the frequencies, see if they're the same. You know, you can get ways to test these things out and make sure that it's got the benefit. Plus, when I played 532 and 428, what happens is I wake up in the morning totally refreshed and not groggy. My skin looks better, and overall I feel better. And if I can, because I need a device to play it at work, because I like going to work and coming home not tired. And if I play those while I'm at work, I don't come home tired at all.
Okay.
And those were 432 was one of the frequencies generated by the pyramids.
Okay. So what I'm thinking, of course, I used to make clothes and costumes and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm thinking of how I'm going to sew magnets into a belt.
My wife got me a belt that has little metal things on it, and I can hook magnets to that.
Little metal studs or something?
Yeah, little what do you call them? Grommets. It's got grommets.
Grommets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got grommets, and you can stick magnets to the grommets. That works great. That works fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like a good that
Wow, that's
sounds
what
like
I
a
thought
good
you were
plan.
talking
works
about.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, they stay on pretty good. You put them on the inside, but yeah, they stay pretty good.
Cool. I've got some of those. I just happened to
Wow.
think I got some of those in my collection. I could do that.
Yeah,
I could totally do
Yeah.
that.
nice, easy solution.
Mm.
Yeah, you could put like
Heck yeah.
three or four of them around your waist. That'd probably help with your digestion like incredibly.
Yeah.
Well, that would help because when I get nervous, I have trouble with digestion.
Yeah, well,
I
okay.
get the fight or flight response.
The electricity affects all the soft, exposed tissues of your body, all the open areas. Wherever you have an air interaction, like in the gut, the lungs, the nasal cavities, the eyes, mouth, that's why we experience these frequencies and electricity on those areas, because they're exposed to the positive negative polarity. They're an access point for the positively charged electricity to go in and cause damage.
I'm
Yeah.
dropping
And
down.
that's why it affects your lungs and you get a cold and shit.
Bye,
And-
guys.
You what?
I'm dropping back down in the
Bye.
chat. Thanks
Okay.
for having me up.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Morgan. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, guys.
See you,
Ride
Morgan.
that high, buddy. Ride that high.
I shall.
Yeah.
I shall.
Mhm.
And the thing is, I'm riding my high so much that I'm actually going to lay down a little bit, like at some point, probably. Probably. I usually don't ever, but you know what I mean? I might even lay down a little bit to keep it going. You know, I don't usually do that, but I may. All right. Love you guys. I'm just going to go in the
I
chat.
love you.
Hang
Bye
on.
bye. I have been drinking my silver water. I bought some 500 parts per million
Oh, nice.
silver colloidal.
That's a high concentration. You only need a few drops in a glass for that.
Right, that's what I do. I take a jug like this
Mm-hmm.
and I put one dropper's worth in a bottle like this and drink it.
Yeah, that's a good concentration. Yeah.
You get a good high concentration. You can dilute it then and just have it during the day and just kind of
Yep.
drink it
Now
during the day.
don't forget to bless that stuff, you guys. Everybody that buys that, don't forget to bless it yourself. Put your own intentions and love into it, your own energy.
I
Before-
happen to think too, gosh, you could use the selenite to cleanse that too.
You could. Selenite has an interesting properties of light that does it act as a light focuser? That's an interesting thing I'd like to know.
Well, there's more than one kind of selenite. This is one kind. There's another kind that looks like a lens. So quite possibly you could take selenite and make a lens out of it. But it is quite soft too. So you'd have to be careful with it. But yeah, I would think you could make, I think they even call it optical or something. Maybe they do use it. If you get the plate type instead of this type, this is, what do they call this? I think they call this the spar type.
Not coming
or
up.
the ice type, because it looks like ice. I think, I'm not sure.
It's got some interesting properties to it. It's hard
Yeah,
to,
selenite has very interesting.
yeah, it's hard to tell because we haven't developed the technology to understand what the fields of crystals
Well,
are.
it's actually gypsum.
Yeah.
And it can be used to purify water, I guess.
Okay.
Although it's funny because there's some people that say
calcium?
gypsum is bad.
So it's calcium?
It's some kind of gypsum,
Yeah. Let me see.
particular kind of gypsum.
Let me see.
That's all I know. Like I said, I don't know everything about this. I know what to do with it. Sort of like a TV. I know how to use the TV. I don't know exactly how, everything about how it works, which was probably how we got in trouble during a mud flood event or some event when, everybody was buried under 20 feet of mud. Who was around who still knew how to make things work. Right?
Yeah,
That's probably how things went bad.
Yeah, it's like
what?
It's like highly compressed limestone. Calcite and limestone is divided into low magnesium and high magnesium calcite. So, yeah.
Interesting. Magnesium is also very important in metabolism.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
I've
Yeah,
got me some
magnesium, most people are
lithium
deficient in magnesium. I would suggest if you're buying colloidals, buy some colloidal magnesium because that helps balance blood sugar. At least
Yes.
it said so on a one of the packages. I said this is not medical advice.
Well, there's, fortunately, I don't have a blood sugar problem even at my age, which is to the surprise of many people. It's weird. It's like you get to be my age and everybody's got diabetes.
Yeah, it's the diabetes. That's 2 in 3 South
Yeah.
American people. Almost half of North American people are suffering from diabetes.
And then they try and tell you if you're fat, you're going to get diabetes. You're going to have that's linked. It's like I've been
Yeah, it's a prevalent thing for sure.
I've been I've been that way. I really don't think that fat is going to cause you diabetes. I think that
It
I think
doesn't.
that drinking
It's an
diet pop to try
autoimmune
and get
disorder.
thin is going to cause you diabetes.
Well, all the
No,
shit they try to feed you, yeah, that's ridiculous.
diabetes is actually an autoimmune disorder. It's not caused by eating junk food or anything of the sort.
Yeah,
Yep.
They're lying to us about what diabetes is so that they can lie to us about what the treatment is so they can unalive us
Exactly.
sooner.
almost everything is a cover up for the electronics.
Yes.
Almost everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Most
Almost
everything.
everything, except for slipping and falling on ice. You know,
Yep.
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 They'll find a way though to link
from the
that.
big C to
One day.
the little itch in your ass. You know.
Yep. Yep. Oh,
How
it's
crazy
a
is that, huh?
yeah, they
And
are
then Hulda
nuts.
Clark came up with how to zap away your parasites. By actually applying electricity intentionally to yourself.
Yep, 12 volts.
Yeah.
Dalibor has shown us a device that he made that does that. There used to be devices you could buy that would put small voltage to you. But those paddles
Yeah.
too, I think that's something to try too. I've got enough magnets now to try it. It'll be hard to attach them and make them stay where they're.
It was.
staying,
Oh my God, it was hard to build this thing, let me
and
tell
like
you.
I'm supposed to get them a couple of inches away from each other, and these things have a magnetic field of like 8 inches out. So I don't know.
I know. We
You
just
can do
about went
that.
nuts trying to build this thing.
Super
Because
glue.
if you let go for just a second or just
Thank you, Dan.
your attention, if you try to lay it down like a normal object, they'll just clack together and break or something. They're just, it's crazy. You have to really have a routine laid out for them in order to be able to do it without driving yourself nuts.
Yeah.
Because it's almost
Yeah.
like you're working with a live object that has a mind of its own, right? It wants to move. If you forget and lay it down anywhere near to another one, you're just, it's too late.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to try and build one of these. I'm sure you can get a routine down to do that just right easily, but you'd have to be very mindful of what you were doing.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Oh yeah. Don't be tired. Don't be too stoned. Don't be too drunk.
Yeah.
Be sober when you're doing
Exactly.
it. Yes.
Yeah, basically, because that was just one of the hardest things. But if you can do it, yeah, I can see where it would work. Hey, Mr. Cowboy, you need to come down. Okay.
Take them down.
My little buckaroo there.
Yeah. So what magnesium apparently does is balances blood sugar. It doesn't act necessarily on either. You know, either way any different. What it does is it balances it.
Well, it could be very interesting if you could come up with something, for instance, for people's shoes. I'm still trying to come up with I've got an idea that you could put a,
Now, have you taken sea salt Ormus?
yeah,
Okay. Did you notice an increase in your nail growth and hair growth?
not particularly.
Okay, that might not be the right stuff then.
Not particularly, but then my hair grows very fast. My nails
Did I
don't,
send
but
some of that to you, Paula? I think I sent some of
What?
that to you. Ormus, did I send you?
Um,
I
you
sent you
sent me
Kaleido Silver.
Claudio.
I
I
sent you
tried to
silver and
make the
gold.
illness,
Okay.
and I think I flubbed it up. So I am no example at all.
Okay. Yeah, sea salt Ormus. You'll find your hair and nails, your cells will regenerate better because it's made with sea salt. So sea salt contains almost the most minerals you can get anywhere.
Yes.
And
well,
what
I
that,
can get a hold of that.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, you can buy sea salt Ormus. Yeah, let me just type that in here.
But I was very
And to make the Ormus, you have to have those earth magnets. You can't use a regular magnet. And I think that's where I screwed up.
Oh, with Ormus? No.
Right?
Ormus is made chemically.
Okay.
Yeah, you take
Well,
sea
then
salt.
I have not tried to make that one. I tried to make that other thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The one with the metal bowl.
The metal bowl and the magnets. Yeah, I
Yeah,
flubbed that one off.
yeah. What that
Yeah.
does is that concentrates the positive Ormus in the middle, and it's very
Yes.
what's this about the metal bowl? Because I've got stainless steel bowls.
okay. So you magnetize the bowl. You have to stick a big magnet to the bowl, and you put salt water in it. And then what happens is you leave that, like you have to put like a high concentration of salt water, sea salt water. And what happens is the Ormus will concentrate to the middle of the bowl in the top layer. So you get a scooper, like a ladle, and you very gently scoop out the very middle top layer. And you drink that.
Okay.
But you have to leave it sit for a few hours to separate the Ormus out.
Yeah.
Okay, about how many hours is that? I could try that. I've got the magnets and I've
Four
got
to 6 hours, I would guess.
okay.
You get sea salt around 200 to 400 grams in about 2 liters, or I guess that would be about a half a gallon of water. So a half a
I
gallon,
also
yeah, I'd go about 400 grams because the higher concentration, the better. So you could put a whole
yeah, I
bunch.
don't like salt. Yeah. In
Yeah,
mine.
you could put a whole bunch in there. I wouldn't go too high because then you're just drinking
Salt water, yeah.
too much salt
Yeah.
water. You're going to be drinking salt water, but you're just going to be drinking a bit of it.
Yes.
Yeah, I could probably easily make. I've got a kind of a collection of, and well, you could even do that with a stainless steel pot or pan.
Yeah, yeah. All it does is it pushes all the Ormus to the middle.
Could you do it with iron? Sure.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, as long as it's magnetic.
Because all my pans are either stainless steel or iron now.
Yeah.
That's all I use. I will not
I forget which polarity to use. I believe it's the positive, because what you're trying to do. So again, you have to get a compass and find out which polarity you're using. Always with magnets, you have to concern yourself with which polarity you're using. Okay?
Right.
You have to get a compass to figure that out. There's no way to guess. Okay? So
Yeah.
you have to get a compass to figure that out. If you can't figure that out, don't do it, because you could be aiming the positive pole at you, which could have detrimental effects. So what you want to do is get the positive pole on the bowl so that it drives all of the negative particles to the middle.
And that's the part that you want to drink.
Yeah.
Yes. And because I knew I was
You could
flubbing
do that
it,
every day.
I just
You
stopped
could.
doing it. 'cause
I did it for a
wanted to-
while. I found it did have a very enlightening effect. But after a while, it doesn't. So you have to
Well, you
wait a
get
while.
used to it. It's a new
Yeah,
normal.
you can do it every couple of years, and it'll have a good effect. Helps realign in a little way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after a while, you'll stop feeling an effect, and then that means you don't need it.
Yeah, you've filled up your salts, right? Like
Yeah.
if you look up the mineral here, let me just do that for you.
Replenished them. Yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, I've done my shopping for the week, so
now I buy Himalayan rock salt in solid form
Yeah.
and break it up myself because
I've got Himalayan rock salt. I've
if you
got it.
buy it granulated, it's going to have anticoagulants in it that are not good for you.
Yes. Not good.
Well, the stuff that they sell at Mark's, it comes in the pebble size.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Find the big chunks, the big huge chunks, like the size of a little stone you'd hold in your hand. Chunks of that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
oh, I can get
And
that.
Yeah.
and my
And then you want
husband
to break
used
that
work
up.
at the store. Yeah, and then you break that up. But I even took took each 4 nuggets and I put them in all my corners of my bedroom.
Hmm.
Also,
It's a good idea.
Couldn't you? Well, I have
corner
salt
you
lamps
by
all over the
bathroom.
place.
Well, there's a salt
I
lamp
have
in the
candle
bathroom.
salt lamps, and I also have electrical salt
So
lamps.
But
here's the 84 that this particular site lists is like hydrogen, lithium, barium, boron, nitrogen, oxygen, fluoride, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chloride, calcium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, magnesium, iron, zinc, copper, arsenic, germanium, gallium, rubidium, zirconium, niobium. It's got so many. Actually, usually it has more than this. Usually it has 120 plus. But
yeah,
this is taken right. Salt is made right from the blood of the dragon, which we are the progenitors of.
Right.
yeah,
So it has almost every mineral that you need to be healthy.
yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be possible? And I'm trying to make this easy as possible. Why would you have to break up the salt? Couldn't you just leave a chunk of salt in a bowl until it dissolves finally and
No, it takes a long time.
Takes too long.
Doesn't
take
dissolve.
longer?
I've
Doesn't
already
dissolve.
tried that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't dissolve. No, it'll just
No.
sit there. It'll just sit there.
Sit there and stare at you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And laugh at you, actually. Yes.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
stir it around and stuff, and yeah,
But you thought I was going to melt, didn't you? Ha ha.
yeah, it's rock salt. Like if you're getting rock salt,
Rock
like
salt.
I buy,
Yes.
what I do is I buy the actual rock salt lamps. That way I
Yeah.
know because it's been core drilled and chipped, and I break it up with a hammer myself.
Well,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
he gets
get
the
the
big
chunks
stuff.
off of Timu.
Yeah, you have to be careful though, because sometimes apparently what they do is they melt it down and then they reform it.
Yeah.
So make sure that they have odd inclusions, right? And
Yeah.
you'll be a little more confident that that's a natural one. Hi, Angel Wings. Good to see you.
Hey, Angel Wings. I can't see comments
I don't
right
know
now,
what they
so
did. I don't know what they did to the salt my husband gave me. That is the size of a small stone in the palm of your hand. But I don't consume those salts. Those are what I have in the corners of my house.
Those should be pretty good if they're more than if they're like, because you can wash them off. If they have any anticoagulant on them, you could wash that off easily if they're the size of a
Yeah.
stone.
Geez, Scotty,
And
but I have
brush
such
them up after.
sexy toes.
So those would be
Yeah.
fine to use.
They
Those would
used
be
to call me sexy toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, use those. Absolutely. Get yourself some Phillips milk of magnesia. You dissolve 200 grams of that in a liter and a half or 2 liters, about a half a gallon of water, and then you put
Yes.
two ounces of Phillips milk of magnesia in there, and then over about 6 hours, that'll settle to the bottom, and you'll see all that milky substance on the bottom. You drain off the water on the top and pour in new water. You leave that milky stuff on the bottom, and then you drain. After that settles, you drain that off again. You do that 5 times, and then you drain it off, and you got the milk at the bottom. You drink that. That's got all those minerals in it.
Yeah, I flubbed that one up too. I tried that one too.
No, it's very easy to do. I guess I'll do a video on that too.
Yeah. I think it was because
It's okay,
the only
Scotty.
metal bowl that I had in my house was one that goes to a KitchenAid, and it's got this. It's not a flat bottom. It's got a divot in the bottom of the bowl for some stupid reason, and I'm guessing it's for when the blender goes around it. But
Yeah.
that's unnecessary. But so I don't have a flat bottom bowl, and I think for both things that I tried to do and failed, I used that same bowl. 'cause
Yeah,
that's all I had.
it could do something with the field and pushing it out or
It
something.
does. I believe it does. It fucks up
Yeah.
the field. So make sure, I have to say, make sure that the bottom is flat,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you will
Yeah, we
fail
got that.
miserably. Like
And every
every
couple of
adult
years, yeah, that seems to have an effect. But it takes a while for it to have an effect again. Me and my wife did it, and we were almost, well, we were high on it.
Yeah.
Almost.
You were. I remember you saying you were high on it.
Hmm. But it was just, I think it was like filling up the salts,
That
'Cause there's-
felt good.
Yeah, we felt good. I've never
Yes.
tried this. I've never tried a formulation. They have these formulation of 12 salts that are you're supposed to take. I'd like to try that at some time. The 12 sacred salts. Each one is represented by one of the signs of the zodiac.
Really?
Yeah. And what they should come out with is a formulation for each zodiacal sign, because apparently what it is, you're deficient in like salts before or after your sign. So you would be beneficial for each sign to have its own, because they would get more of the 2 salts that they're missing, or have a lower amount of absorption of.
I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen videos on TikTok about it.
Yeah, the sacred salts, the 12 sacred salts.
Yep. Google that, y'all.
Yeah, Epsom salt.
Dan, we practically have to have a PhD to keep ourselves healthy these days.
Yeah, we do, unfortunately. It's it's become a challenge,
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened.
Especially, I don't know if it's especially, but it seems like for those of us that are, trying to break the programming, it seems to be tougher. I don't know if that's true, or if the ones that are in the programming, if they just suffer in silence. But
No, they suffer without knowing why they're suffering. Even if you tell them, they deny it. So, yeah. It's more
Wow.
like suffering and ignorance.
yeah, I don't think very many people, like Morgan's probably experiencing what it is to be human at this point. And
Yes.
it probably gets
What
way.
was Morgan doing to get so high?
Actually, I know it gets better than that. He had an epiphany moment.
Oh, okay.
Level up. He got to level up.
Cool.
Yeah. He got excited. It was awesome.
Yeah. He had a.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. We should all be like that.
I've had that.
Full of en- Yeah. I know. And that's just a partial experience of what life should be. You know?
See, when I go out and I start singing out in nature, the wind will pick up. It always does.
You're very connected with the elements there.
Oh yeah, I'm an elemental shaman, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Have
and
you
that
got to
huh?
focus on these tornadoes coming through and stuff because you had a
Yeah,
great
stop
effect
it.
on them last time.
I did them.
Yeah, you missed
I'm
this one.
trying. We're trying right now to work on
There's
the
one going right
hurricane.
through. There's one going through Florida right now. My daughter's down there.
Hurricane,
Yeah.
and then a tropical storm. We're working on it, but
Okay.
we think it's not a normal storm because we're having trouble with it.
Oh, they're all manipulated.
Yes, they
They're
are.
They're
So you
steering.
have to
They're getting
focus
better.
on what
They're
you
getting
have
Yeah,
to focus on.
unfortunately, they are getting better at it. We're having a little bit more resistance. And there are also places that if we try to send rain, they have fields over them that will keep that the rain will go right around the area.
Hmm.
Just like you can pretty much mark where the shield is, where they're negating it from where the rain, but the way the rain will be coming right for an area and then go right around.
Yeah, they're probably hitting it with their RadSat systems, the
And
radars.
it's like, holy crap, you know? And then the elementals come back and tell me, well, they didn't want us.
Yeah.
It's like I said, well, they did want you, but somebody was interfering. But you know, they'll just keep going. It's very interesting trying to tell people how to work with the elementals. They're like kind of like children, you know. But they're very sweet. But
Let's go Utes.
yeah. But anybody, I think, can probably talk to them if you talk to them nicely. I think you can probably do this other ways, but I've just found for myself, I feel better if I talk to them nicely and then they do what they'll do almost anything for you if you're nice to them, if they love you, you know, if they're feeling love. And I try to tell people that's part of the process. It's like, what do you mean? What's all this love stuff? And it's like, no, that is an energy. That is an energy, though. And it was Winter. What is his name? Winter. I can't think of his first name. But he talks about this. He talks about the way that a shaman drives a storm is the storm has fallen in love with the shaman somehow. And he talks about it as being
Yeah, that empathy.
a process, not not the
That
way that
empathy.
we think of it.
It's empathy, I think.
Yeah.
Something like empathy. Maybe wrong.
So if
Here's
you come up, yeah, it's something like empathy. So
here's
something like
Geoengineering Watch. He tracks the radar and RadSat systems, and he shows how they're steering the storms. There's also MRB 333.
Mhm.
well, yeah, there's other ways to steer them, but I mean that's a way that we can use just ourselves without
Yeah,
any-
ourselves. Yeah, we can counter that kind of stuff.
What I do when I'm focusing on the hurricanes and the tornadoes is I close my eyes and I imagine undoing it altogether. I don't just say, hey, storm, stop, or try to come against it. I imagine I am in the center of it going in the opposite direction and I am telling it to stop.
Mhm.
Literally.
I just
calming the
ask it to
storm.
please not hit people.
Hmm.
You know, so I'm like talking to it.
Yeah. Is
We've
there
been
some way you could
trying to-
ask it to be its natural self? Like, the end result be its
We
natural.
did that with El Nino. They were trying to have a super. I did that with El Nino. They were
Yeah,
trying to have a super El Nino, which would have effed up some things. And I really saw in my head, it looked like they were trying to put a superhero. I know this was symbolism, superhero looking thing on El Nino. It is what it looked like in my head. It's symbolism, but I said, no, you don't need to be
yeah,
super. You just need to be your normal self, your natural self.
I
So
talk
yeah,
to Earth and I tell her, don't let them manipulate you. You're more powerful than they are. Stop it.
yeah.
I
If
get
you know you're
creepy.
being attacked, you're more powerful than they are.
You're
If you
more
know,
powerful
if you
than
know
they
it.
are.
That's the
Don't
thing,
let
though.
them
That's
manipulate
the problem
you.
is most people don't know it, though. They don't know
We're
they're up.
not
well,
letting them
most people
manipulate
would
us.
think we're absolutely crazy for even having this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, they can go
Well,
fuck
I've got the documents to back it up, so
Yeah.
you can argue with me all you want.
Yeah.
But they damn well use an antenna, and they really don't know the effects of that. And that's what I was trying to highlight tonight, was that they really don't know, because they don't test for anything that has any real importance of testing. They're testing you to see if your breathing changes, if your temperature changes. They're not testing
You know what I'm saying? It's
whether it
like trying to
screws up
study
your
the
DNA.
stars with a microscope.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Forget that. They don't
It's the
bother with
wrong way of looking at it.
Yeah. No, they don't care what's happened on the micro scale, although
Yeah, they
that's
don't care.
exactly what they're affecting, and they know it. That's why they
And
put
they
it in
mean
there.
it.
That's why they
They
put
don't
that
mean
low
it.
level testing in their documents. This is what we're testing for.
They're afraid to look to see what it's doing to us, because then they'd have to admit how evil they are.
Yeah. They know exactly what it's doing.
They know exactly.
I'm
It's
sure they
savages.
do.
They just don't
You
want
know,
to
it
see
was
it
so
with their own
specific
eyes, because then they'd have to
during
admit
the
how
C
evil
word.
they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the C word. Oh, God.
It was so specific.
Yeah.
Do you know I have a document called Corona, a routing system for nano networks?
Yeah. How about that?
How about
I
that?
mean, they couldn't
Isn't
have
that
been more specific.
isn't that interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, the testing is pathetic.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
I've
I'm
been
not
thinking
really
about getting a
sure.
microscope to check and see what my blood looks like, and start keeping an eye on that shit.
There you go. Here, look at what they're doing here, D. A gene
Wings is back
encoding
here.
DNA
Wings is back here.
origami for mammalian cell expression. So,
Hey,
Oh my God.
what they're doing here is they're changing the expression of DNA through the resurfacing of the DNA. Isn't that cool? Isn't that wonderful?
yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just great.
You
I'm
know what
so
else is
thrilled.
cool? Angel Wings is in
This
the
is my
back.
thrilled face.
Here, let me post a link for this for everybody to look at.
Okay, I'm gonna fire up my tablet so I can actually see, because I'm looking at you on my phone because my boom arm won't
Yeah.
hold my
Oh, there you are.
tablet anymore. So hang on.
Do you see it?
Hi,
There we
Angel.
go.
There you are.
Hi.
Good to
Hey,
see you.
Angel.
Been a long time since you've been up.
No, I got free time. It's called I lost my job.
Well, there you go.
Uh-oh. You look excited
We're
about
gonna
it,
have to
though.
have you on the show, sweetheart.
I hope you're sucking the government dry for every penny you can get out of them.
Oh, I'm working on it. I'm filling out everything I can, and all the
Yeah.
paperwork, everything.
You go get
There we
yours
go.
of
We can see
whatever
you.
money there's left, because they're giving it
Yeah.
out like candy to other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotta get your share.
My buddy, he's early retirement, right? And I'm all for him, man. Just you know what, go get it. Take whatever you
Yeah.
can get out of this system, because it's going down.
No, yep.
You know, they're right. We do kind of look related. When I see us like right next to each other, it's like, damn, we do kind of look related. Look
The
at that.
noses here. Hold on.
We have a very limited gene pool here on planet, well, on plain Earth.
Well, I think the nose. Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
the side. Do the slight side profile there, Angel. Turn to your other side.
On the other side.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, definitely.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. We do look a lot alike. You can almost, it almost looks like we're family.
Yep, probably are.
Right. Never know.
Some way. Oh, that's an
In
interesting.
some kind of way, shape, or form, huh?
And I made my debut on Robert's channel too.
Two gorgeous women.
Let me read this comment here. I asked ChatGPT if it could read my mind the same way people do with handwriting analysis. It said yes and explained it to me and how it does it. And you should ask other things about what it can analyze and assess from information given, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what electronic communications or medium can you use that would tell you about the way I think? That's a really good question.
Be careful.
Let me talk
Be
about the
careful
way
with
I am.
You know how to ask ChatGPT the right questions, and that's important, is knowing how to
But you have to
phrase
be
those.
careful. You have to be so careful, because I tried to talk to a chat GPT, and when I first heard about them, and I don't know, I must have asked something just the wrong way or said something just the wrong way, and they said, "We're gonna tell DARPA about you," something like that, and I said, "Uninstall, uninstall, bye bye."
Unless it has a very dirty mind, it's not going to read Scotty's mind. It's gonna.
Everyone can read Scotty's mind.
It won't dare
Right.
read mine. Mine's 90 miles an hour thinking about too much stuff. I'd break it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, overload. Yeah.
Green freckled M&Ms.
So are you looking for gainful employment there, Angel?
Well, I was gonna fill out for unemployment and all that because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it because they literally fired me for tardiness. I'm like, who the heck fires over that anymore? It's not even like I was that tardy. I was like they were being anal about it, literally tardy for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, some of
Yeah.
them were, and they freaked out and said, well, if you can't be clocked in at 5 and downstairs ready at 5, which we have to change your clothes too. It's crazy. There's a whole thing you have to do before you can even go downstairs, and they expected your time schedule to be actually at your post, which is BS.
Yeah. We got guys that show up like
you post at the same time. You're not Wonder Woman.
we got guys that show up 3 or 4 days out of the week, and they don't seem to fire them. I really don't know what's going on with this whole younger generation, and like most of them take like 1 or 2 days off at least every 1 or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to work. They don't believe they should have to slave their life away in order to live on this planet, on this plane.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not wrong.
They're not, but the work ethic isn't there, though.
Yeah, it's not. But at the same time,
the work ethic isn't there, right?
Do you know there's a guy, and this was a long time ago, and I don't know if I can find it again. He has actually figured out a way that you don't even need to breathe. He has put somebody in such a deep meditation. He put a guy in such a deep meditation on, and there's a video of it. And he says you can get to a point where you don't have to breathe. You can be in a meditation so deep, your body does not need to breathe.
I was born that way. My family used to make fun of me. They would constantly be like, "Hey, Paula, when's the last time you took a breath?" I don't know, but since they said something, I'd go and finally take a breath. But I felt fine. I wasn't blacking out. I wasn't passing out, nothing.
I
So
remember
that
doing that as a
is a
kid
real
too.
thing. And I still do it. I don't do it as much, but I still do it. I still catch myself doing it. So practice. Don't hold your breath. Don't take a deep old breath and then wonder why your head's going to explode. Just exhale and relax.
Well, if you don't mind,
Exactly.
I'd really love to share what happened though when I got fired. It's amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I mean, it's like, see, I wasn't where the universe planned it out. I swear the universe had everything to do with it because they sat me down, they pulled me into the office, and I'm like, why am I in the office? I didn't even know. I had no warning at all. And I just sat there and they go, well, we've come to the conclusion that you've had too many tardies, and we finally looked at it, and you're getting fired today. And I literally sat there and just looked at him. I said, whatsoever. Instead, I was still super positive and giddy, and I felt this warm, really warm energy all around me. I felt completely safe, and it was amazing feeling. It's like I felt the universe support me in that moment. It was cool.
So you
And
felt the
huh?
ether or the plasma around
Mm-hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Yep. I was surrounded, and I didn't get mad. And see, normally when I get fired like that out of nowhere, I lose my shit and I cry, and I'm like, I
I
just
used
even
to
sat
cry
there
a
at one
lot.
moment and I said, why am I not even crying? In my
Mhm.
head I was thinking, why am I not crying? This is kind of weird even. But yet I knew everything was,
Well, we're changing.
yeah,
Yep.
perfectly fine.
Yep.
It was so bizarre. And while I was getting my stuff, all I did, the only justice I gave them was I shot back. I hope I find a better, at least I'll find a better place that treats people decent.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh yeah.
only
Get
thing
that
I said
last word
leaving.
in. Yes. Get that last word in. Yep.
Because I
Yep.
were firing people there the last few weeks, like very strange, like random. Someone even got fired for a random picture that was extremely inappropriate. But I'm like, who the heck would be that catty to turn somebody in and cause that big a problem?
Huh.
That's
Well,
weird.
I have a feeling that they're trying to replace everyone with those newbies that will work the same job for less pay.
That can't even speak English. Yep,
That
that's
can't
what was
even
going.
speak English good. Yeah.
Yep, that's what was going on in my workplace. I'm like, how am I supposed to communicate with people that can't speak English? That makes no sense to hire them if they can't communicate with regular people.
Exactly.
And that's what
Hey,
they're trying to do.
I
when
didn't
I
see.
get them fuckers on the phone, I say, look, sorry, I cannot understand you, and I'm not saying another damn word until I speak to your manager. I want to speak to someone who speaks good English. Now, sometimes that will blow up in your face.
That's
because
racist, Paula. You're a racist.
Yeah,
sometimes,
you're a
So
horrible
you
racist.
communicate in the language
somebody
that's
will show
required
up
by
with
the
this
country.
racist
You're
in the
racist.
last. No, I think that if I'm trying to report a problem, I should be able to communicate with the person that speaks my language well so that they can understand what I'm saying and
Oh, you
fix
know
the
what?
problem.
In the UK, they've got an app for that. So the Somalian police will communicate to you through an app on their phone. Uh, you know what you're accused of or what you're going to jail for.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, yeah, they're for 2 months I had these two women that didn't hardly spoke any English, like against me bad. And I bet you it had something to do with that. I bet you they complained to me all the time, and no, and they wouldn't say so. They weren't allowed to say that's why, so they used my attendance as an excuse.
Yes. It sounds
Probably.
like they just had to find a flimsy excuse. Yeah, because you were there, you were just slightly late because, well, you can't be
Well,
on
we don't do a
spot
weird
and signing in at the same time. You just can't do it. It's
I know.
impossible.
You know
Well,
what?
and
I'm
they're
proud of myself. I think I got a diversity hire fired. I'm not going to go into all of it, but I think she was committing fraud and I think I got her fired.
mhm,
Without even trying to. I was just saying, "Hey, this happened. Did
mhm.
anybody know that this happened?" And I went
Right.
because I couldn't get the underling. I went over their head and said, "Hey, this happened." And now I'm hearing, yeah, that person got out of that job real quick, and they got somebody else in there that's much better. And now
Yeah.
they've changed a whole bunch of stuff in order to change the procedures. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think
When
I
I
got her
call,
fired.
when I call,
Yeah.
when I call the
She's horrible.
pharmacy, the computer comes on and it says, well, you can tell me what you need, and I'll do a much better job for you than an actual person would. And I say, no, the hell you won't. I want to talk to a living, breathing human being. Okay.
Yep. I want to talk to a human.
Now the computers are involved in the hiring process as well.
Oh,
Either that
Lord.
or I'll confuse them so deeply that they'll go, oh, yeah, we'll have to send you to an agent.
Yeah, they'll reject that for sure.
They're like, oh, yeah, we better give you to an agent.
Yeah.
So like, what are you
Well,
talking about?
I tried talking and using their little stupid program, but it takes forever to get to an actual person. Why would
Yeah,
I choose to take 12 minutes to get a hold of a person when I can just say, shut the hell up, you're a liar, give me a person?
Mm.
You know,
right.
you don't work well enough yet to do this job. And you know, I told my pharmacists about it, and they don't like this new system
Yeah,
either.
that's right, Scotty boy. And that's the problem. Like Mrs. Max here is trying to find work, but they're offering benefits and bonuses to employers for hiring immigrants, which makes them
Uh-huh,
much more desirable. If
Hey,
you're
Woo.
exactly.
if you're offered
How
25%
you doing, Derek?
off of wages, you know,
Yep,
that's paid
Mhm.
for by the government, which Justin Trudeau did.
yep.
Uh, you're more likely to hire somebody that's going to save you 25% of your
Yep.
money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's what those ladies do too. I couldn't believe it. They would work overtime, back to back, overtime, overtime, overtime.
Mhm.
It's crazy. Basically they're kissing butt. They did all that just to make themselves look good, so then they get special treatment. But you know what? I really don't care. I let it all go, and I just laughed at myself, and I said, "Oh, I hope she has fun when she realizes she's got to dictate that machine and write it all down like a diary."
It'll work out for them in the short term, but the long term it won't because
Yep.
eventually
Well,
those benefits and that will be pulled away,
Mhm.
uh,
yes.
and they'll have to survive on what they're actually making, and that won't work.
Yeah. No, because they've made everything cost so damn much.
Yeah,
Mhm. And I think it's hilarious. She thinks
Everything
she's
costs so much more, and they want them to be paid less. Well, how are they going to make the ends meet? They're going to be,
the price of things hasn't risen to the amount of money they've printed yet. It's still got to go up.
Mhm.
yes.
So eventually, what they're being paid won't be worth it.
No,
You
they're
know,
going to realize it's like they're on welfare, only they have to work
yeah, and work
Mhm.
for the welfare.
like they did when they started. Yeah,
You
it's going to
know,
be
when you're on welfare, you shouldn't have to work. But
like what they say is these people are used to working for less money, and that is not true because the economics of their country is different. Food and shelter are not expensive there. So most
Right.
of their income is more disposable. That's what
Yeah.
they don't tell you. So they're used to
Oh.
having a large amount of disposable income because their food
Oh.
and shelter are so cheap.
Wow.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my rent, honestly, like 700 right now, I'd probably be in the hole actually. Huh. Which I did have kind of a loan too, but I guess I ain't paying that for a while. I'll just have to tell them, well, lost my job. But it takes a while for unemployment to kick in, but I know I'll
It
definitely get
does.
it. Sometimes it just takes a while because they try to fight it, but eh.
Yeah, good. Get what you can out of them because they're trashing the system right now.
They absolutely deserve it.
Put that into something physical: gold, silver, food, seeds, equipment,
Mm-hmm.
guns, whatever,
Mm.
booze, tobacco.
Taser.
Yeah, booze and
Yeah.
tobacco. Those will go over good. You can always sell that.
Brass knuckles.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah. Convert everything you get into every extra dollar you can into something you can keep or hold.
Well, I definitely know one thing. I'm gonna start doing my cards maybe and throw up some donations and be like, donations, card readings. But at the same time, I prefer to do them free. But at this point, I'm gonna do it, make it just enough so I can get the heck out of Dodge because I plan on leaving Wisconsin.
Well,
Forget
give it a
Wisconsin.
try. That's a tough road.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and do that too because but it doesn't seem to be that easy
Mm-hmm.
to get that started. But yeah, it's you almost need a lot of people coming through to do that on your channel.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
even a
the
little bit
best way
just
to
for
do that. The
groceries.
best way to do that is subscribe to YouTube, like subscription, okay, and buy subscribers because they will promote you then.
Buy
Yeah,
subscribers.
it's a scratch. Yeah, it's a scratch you, scratch me situation, my friend.
Okay.
I didn't know
And
you
how
could
much do
buy
you have to
subscribers.
pay them to
Oh
buy
yeah, yeah, yeah,
subscribers?
yeah, 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 yeah.
What does it cost to buy a single
Well, it
subscriber?
depends. I don't know. It depends. I suppose it depends on the package you buy, right?
Wow.
I haven't
Because
looked
they
into
can
that at
boost they
all.
can boost your content or suppress it, right? Like we're shadow
Well,
banned. We're on the other end of it, right?
yeah, we're on the other end.
so
Well, on
you,
TikTok,
so
they
you
do call
imagine
it
you
I'm
imagine
almost
promoting
about,
so
yeah,
imagine the other end of what we're experiencing, and
yeah.
that's basically it. So you get unknown subscribers. All of a sudden, people are suggested your channel. Your channel shows up first in all feeds. Yeah. So
Wow.
everybody in your channel gets a notification at least twice, like they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Everybody wants the hand in your wallet when your wallet is
but
flipping
like
empty.
how many people get their notifications on my channel? Very few. You know,
Yeah.
and there's supposed to be two of them before a video starts.
So if I get some money
Yeah.
together, I could pretty much boost my
Yep.
numbers, but then once you get them boosted, you can actually be all right.
Yes, once you get them
But
boosted. Yeah. Now I don't know where all my damn followers came from. I put a few videos, short videos up on my channel and they just poured in. And I don't know how many of them are actually real or if they're all just bots. I haven't gone live yet since I
Oh,
got
on
them.
TikTok.
No, over here on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I can't
I've
remember
got
one of them I posted. I signed up for one of them, and suddenly I got a whole bunch of subscribers, but they were all apparently attractive women in lingerie.
Oh, so you got
yeah,
all the wrong ones. So you have to tell them, block, block, block. You have to block them.
No, I left them there. I don't really go there too much, so.
Yeah.
But I know they're
But you
bots.
still,
You
if you
know.
don't block them, they'll keep showing up in your feed. And when you catch them live, you have to rest your finger on the screen and then flag it, and then you'll get options. You just don't like this video, or you don't ever want to see
I don't
any
even,
live.
I don't even get TikTok. When you send me videos, I get lost in whatever happens on that platform. I have no idea what I'm doing there. Like none at all.
Yeah, we would need a private call so I can walk you through it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in my
I just get
Facebook
lost.
channel.
I have no idea what I'm doing on that thing.
Yeah, it's not hard, but it is confusing at first.
It makes no sense, you know. And I try to do it on my phone or my tablet or my computer. It's totally different, you know. And that's
Yeah.
just through, like email or Gmail or whatever. It's like, geez.
Yeah, I'm thinking of selling my feet pictures since I
Mm,
got sexy toes.
whatever you got to do to make the
I'm sorry,
money.
we're gonna have to start selling your feet pictures.
Well, mine are
I don't know where
interesting.
that came from, but the people
Well,
play that a lot.
you can hate the United States of America, but don't hate America. America is beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
The untied
Stupid,
snakes.
stupid government we have.
Hate the
Well-
rulers of the United States.
The untied states of Chinerica.
Yeah.
That's what we're
We don't
heading for if we
want
don't
China
change
to
stuff.
go.
We gotta start being positive about everything. Turn it around. Positive solutions for everything.
Yes.
Oh, we're trying.
Yeah.
Awareness is my one. I
Yep.
think awareness.
That's what I told him on Typical Skeptic. I said, guys, you asked. I'm going to try not to, because I was warned, don't use trigger words. And I said, okay, I'm going to try and say this without, because somebody asked me point blank, are they going to interfere with the election?
Nah.
And it rigged the election somehow. And I said, oh, absolutely. What do you think they were doing the last 2 attempts? What do you think they've been doing?
Yeah.
Just try to take away our free will choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what happens every time something tries to constantly block me? I blast through that block and I keep doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I had my mom trying to stop me from leaving. She's using the election against me. She's like, I just feel something very, very bad is coming. You better not go anywhere until after. And I said, no, after will be too late because that's when the actual storm will happen. You got to get out before. So
Yeah.
literally, I only got a month to get it all together and out.
All right.
It was very hard, but you know what? When I got out of my place, I know it saved my life.
Hmm.
I know when I got out of the other place. For some reason, over here, across on the other side of the interstate, is under a different jurisdiction or something, different energy. If I would have stayed over there, it just would have been more of the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's more like this is somebody else's territory, and it's a much better territory. But we're over here, not in a swamp, but in a bog. Basically, we're living in a bogland. Probably, maybe it might be. See, it's interesting because it's so watery here. Maybe that's part of.
Yeah. Living by water. Water is very conductive.
And that's where I got to.
That's beneficial. Being by a
that-
waterfall is also very beneficial because of the negative ions it produces.
Yeah. See, we've got lots of water. We've got.
Same thing with organite. If you feel a cool mist almost falling off of organite, at least for me, that's how I know it's working.
Okay.
I wonder if the stuff
I'll
I
have to check
have might
that.
be missing something.
Yeah, hold it up and put your hand underneath it. For a woman, it would probably be the left hand, and see if it feels cooler when it's over. If you feel like almost like a cool, gentle breeze blowing down.
Interesting. Okay.
Now I got to do that because I'm looking at it. I have it sitting on my table.
Try it over both hands and see if there's any difference. You know,
Mm-hmm.
do a bunch of different ways. And you know, some organites work better than others. You'll feel more from some than others.
I read a lot about that. There's a dark side to that too. You really got to keep them cleansed and clear too, because if you don't, the thing about that is when they start generating negative energy,
Yeah, if you build them
that's
wrong,
bad.
yeah, if you build them wrong too, they could start producing what it would be is probably positive energy. So it'd be like building up charges in it and expressing those.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it usually seems to be the negative fields and negative energies that are better for us. They're more absorbing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I often wonder that because I have some sitting here, but I usually just let it sit hanging out with a piece of salt to keep it clear all the time.
yeah, salt's good for cleansing.
Yeah, because
Yep.
it's like
That's
I wish
it's
people would
all
share
around
that
that.
more often too. I'm glad you know and understand the negative side of it because most people just buy them because they look good and they don't research how they work, and then you're putting bad energy in your home without even realizing it.
Yeah, you can. That's it's the same with magnets,
Yes,
energy,
essentially,
everything.
as soon as you
Well,
bring it
I know
home,
when I
because
put
Right.
this
you know,
on
negative
just
energy
now,
get
I
drawn
was
in.
feeling kind of tired. When I put this on just now, I felt better all of a
What
sudden.
what did you put on?
One of this thing that I did, the wire wrap with the
Oh,
link,
the copper
the
wire.
copper
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Copper is very absorbing of radiation and signals.
So yeah, I just immediately felt a difference when I put this on. And it's you know what? I'm beginning to think too, maybe the stones that are on there are somehow changing helping the vibration because of their vibration, whatever.
They may
It's blue apatite.
offer different access points, like an extra antenna. Like when we used to have the bunny ears, and your dad made you hold on to the bunny ears so that the game came in.
Oh, that was me. That was me. I
Mhm.
Yeah,
was better at
oh,
the
yeah, and you had to
antenna
stick your
throwing.
leg up in the air because that's what worked.
I
Okay,
was
now
better
stand
at
like that
Yeah.
for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, and your parents
That
would
was
have you,
me.
in the old TVs, your parents would have you go be the antenna, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
hold my hand up in the air, hold the
Oh,
antenna, hold
shake
my
my
hand up
hand
in the
up.
air, stick my leg up
Shake
on the
my
TV, crouch down a little
uh,
bit. There you go. That's perfect.
That's
Stay
perfect.
there.
Just stay right there.
but yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And don't take your hand off the antenna because it'll go to
And
shit again.
and stop breathing because it makes the signal go in and out. Because I
Right, right. Oh, it was
Yeah, stop
hilarious.
breathing.
Yes.
Stop breathing, kid. You're screwing up the signal. This has
Well, they didn't have to tell me to stop breathing.
Amazonite,
Yeah.
blue
I have
apatite,
one of those
selenite,
pyramids. I keep it next to my bed.
aquamarine.
yeah, the different properties of the crystals could offer different access points for different varying size signals.
Yeah, this one just has clear red, yellow. They're just colored quartz and copper, but it doesn't seem like enough copper to really do and conduct enough energy, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I with the devices that I made with the negative pull of a battery, I was using a copper wire, just a one single strand. It was very uncomfortable. But I bought this chain, and it's made of a different metal, and I don't think it works quite as well. It doesn't feel like it works as well as the
Yeah,
copper.
because
So
this doesn't.
I'm gonna buy a copper link chain online, or even make something like Dee's got there. And I never thought of that. That's a great idea, Dee. And do it like that because yeah, the copper itself seems to work better. Like this doesn't. It's somewhat effective, but I don't think it's as effective.
Yeah, I think this could have a lot better
But
power source
the
to it.
single strand of copper wire worked better than this heavy chain. That's
Yeah,
not copper.
and and the copper they put in here is like tiny, tiny flakes, like tiny little
Yeah.
specks. It's throughout the whole thing, but
Yeah.
it's just like really tiny. So
I
I
may
don't think
just
it.
yeah, if you use Romex, it's insulated. Yeah, that might be good for doing like the torsion field, the twisting antenna type thing.
Thank you, Mary, and Scotty.
And maybe wrap some copper wire on it, help it out.
Yeah, copper wire. Like I wear it in my hat with a device I've made.
That's
So
how I make my jewelry now.
yeah,
That's
that's
that
a
is
great
the
way
way
to.
I make my jewelry.
Yeah, show the link again. Show a close up of the link that you made because that's really good. So it's like a in the middle. It's just a straight bar,
Yep.
about a half an inch long, and then two loops on the
Two
end.
loops at the end.
Yeah,
Oh
and you can
wow.
link a bunch of those together
Yeah.
and make a necklace however long you want. So you just cut them
Yeah.
all
It
the same
seems to
length.
work pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, that would
Nice.
that'll make a connection
And
electrically.
it has the loops in it. Because
Yeah,
you were
that's
talking about
another
something
yeah,
about the
that's another
loops.
bonus point. Like I had to make loops on the ends of what I use. So yeah, having
I'm
loops because and having them a little bit of a different size is going to be good too. But yeah, I use loops on the end of this.
Mhm.
That's the supposed device that stops Havana syndrome. So
Maybe that's it. Okay, I'm going to be making these. I think I'm going to also, yeah. Well, I do need to make a pocket so you can put batteries or whatever. But, really without the battery, aren't crystals piezo, you can get electricity from crystals. That
under,
might be
under pressure, or if
the
they're
piezoelectricity.
yeah, that requires inertia. So even them banging against yourself or your body is inertia. So they could be activated in that way.
I'm almost thinking, yeah, maybe that's why the crystals. Yeah, there's got to be a reason why the crystals are working better. Like, for some reason, if I just put a chain on my neck, it's okay. But yeah, if I have like this, I really felt that.
Hmm,
So
maybe.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure it all out, you guys, and then so that I can pass it on to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to make more of these, though. If you're
Try
interested,
some
let me know.
experimentation with that and see what you come up with. Like you'll notice differences.
It's different than a standard link chain.
Yeah. Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be. It could be that it's like I figure, like what you're trying to do is absorb frequencies and electricity. Um, so it might have, like, okay, so that comes in different wavelengths, and those are measured in the millimeter to the meter scale. So at different wavelengths, different crystals in those actual crystals uh, might absorb those signals because of being the right size.
I've actually
That's how you tune in a radio is by tuning in on the frequency of antenna that's the right size. So it's the same
I
type of thing.
see. My
I
dad
think.
had a crystal radio set
Yeah.
when he was younger, and then they got rid of all the crystal radio sets. That used to be a kid's toy.
Yeah.
They got rid of them all, so doggone well, it probably was worth something because they don't want people to know
I
anything
think
about
you
it.
can still get them. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get that.
Certainly would be interesting, wouldn't it? If we could get that technology, the old technology going again in enough places. I'm converting a lot of my stuff to solar. I intend to dip the electric company out of as much of their money as I can.
Okay. Yeah, there are set as low as $29.99.
For a crystal radio set.
Yeah. Yeah.
How interesting. I may have to go for that just to mess around with it. I bet you.
This is one you can build on your own. You know,
I'll call on
I don't know.
my
You
dad to
you,
help
you
me
could
build
probably
one.
buy one pre-built too.
Probably could.
Um,
If they've got kids, somebody's probably building them for people.
yeah, crystal radio.
And if I learn to build them, it may be me.
Mm,
That might be something you could do for some money. Hmm.
Well, I was thinking about making all natural like wands, like magic wands or healing wands or whatever you want to call it. With, wrapping the copper wire on the end with crystals and carve it out a little bit, look fancy, put some crystals in it and call it
mm.
good. Because I noticed so many people want to make them fancy and layer them with resin.
I'm always cautious with that kind of stuff. Like I know the effects of the positive and negative pole of magnets and the positive negative pole of batteries. Crystals, I'm not so aware of. So that would have to be like a kind of an on feel thing, because there's no actual data behind it to support it. So it would have to be something that you feel is right. So that would require a lot of experimentation.
Yeah, well, I'm really familiar myself with crystals. The crystals are my thing. I seem to have like the ancient knowledge of it, the ancient uses, because I've pretty much made myself my own med bed even. Because when I get upgrades, I'm surrounded with crystals too that help amplify it as well.
And each crystal itself is completely unique, one from another.
Yeah. And has different minerals and stuff in it, which makes me think, okay, malachite has a lot of copper. Okay. It's copper based. It's considered a healing stone.
Yeah.
This has copper. It's blue. Most of the stuff that's blue and green has copper.
Yeah.
So and it has a lot to do with healing. Probably because
If it's got metals in it, if it's got a metal in it, it's going to be somewhat absorptive.
Well, the metals are usually what give it its color, what kind of metal it has.
Yeah.
So, I mean, chrysocolla and a bunch of other stones, it's the copper in them that's giving them the particular color, and then some other elements. So, yeah, how interesting.
Well, and the problem I noticed too with crystals is that you can explain everything and tell people how it works, but until they do enough of their inner work and cleansing to where they can feel the energy themselves, they
They
have no
can't
idea.
tell.
They don't
They don't.
understand. It takes time to develop it and then unlock enough of your senses to feel the difference, but it's happening. It is occurring, just on a different scale than than they most understand.
We're so hit and so under it that
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
hard
man.
for us to feel anything without
Everybody's
anything
getting all
normal,
garbled on me.
without interference.
My StreamYard's screwing up again. So
Ooh.
I think
Didn't
I'm
catch
gonna
that.
just give up.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, exactly.
I got another
It's all
7 minutes on
garbly
here.
on me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pull out before then because it's going to shit for me again. So, but it's been fun as
Yeah,
usual.
shortwave walkie talkie.
Okay. Get well, Paula.
See you guys
It's just her
later.
internet.
I'm not holding on to anything. As a matter of fact, I
You're getting
refuse
kind
to
of
hold
tough.
on to my phone for any length of time or any of my electronic gadgets.
That's a good idea. I keep mine in a reflective case. I'm thinking of I still wonder this whole device blowing up thing. Is that like a way to get us away from our devices now and turn the internet entirely internal? into the human body?
Yeah, I would never, never.
I'm not sure. I don't know what they're doing. I'm
My
confused.
God, there's no way I'm putting
I'm
anything
confused
like
by
that
that
in my
that battery
body.
attack, right? Because we've got batteries all around. Like you use Bluetooth headphones, you've got batteries sitting in your ears that can blow up. If you use a cellular phone, you've got a battery that can blow up. If you use any device that has a lithium ion battery, pretty
That's
much
true. Anything with a lithium ion battery.
can pretty much be exploded on you. You know,
Well,
that's a small bomb waiting to go off. You know, so are they trying to drive us away from technology now for some reason? I don't know.
well,
Or
and I
was
always,
that just a desperation move?
I always thought the strangest thing too was then inventing all these newer phones, then you can't remove the battery at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a reason for that, I think.
yeah, yeah.
It's because,
It
and
all
part of
seems
it
quite
is
apparent, right?
that you can't turn it off then. You cannot, even when you turn it off, it's not really off.
Yeah, well, even when you could have taken out the battery, it still worked. They could still use the microphone and the camera.
There you go. There's the hat that we need for
So
this.
they really didn't need the battery. So
Okay.
that's a
Right.
sunshiny battery or hat. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But with the battery stuck in there, there's a constant, use of a bomb there. Oh, do we both have hats on? Turn it down there, Angel.
Cool.
Mine's covered in rhinestones.
I got one of those somewhere.
He's got one, I'm sure.
I got one somewhere. And then I got this one, which
Oh.
I don't know, might be protective with all that shiny on it.
Might
Yep.
be.
Looks
I
like it.
don't know.
Yeah. Even those what are they like reflective blankets? Those are with
Mylar, yeah.
yeah, they have a minor amount of protection in them. Yeah.
Well, I like wearing these.
Probably, yeah.
So, but to me, it's dragon scale. So anyway, yeah, the thing that I like about all this discussion is if things, and I think that it will have to happen gradually, we're going to have to get weaned off of the electronic stuff we have now.
Yeah, or work with it.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah. It's got to be put to there. There's a proposal by an organization that I have a link with. And they've proposed small cell, local, and, all wired pretty much. But, small access points available to the public, home wireless points available to you if you want them. But most things would be wired, through either fiber optics and, cables. That way you can contain it. This whole broadcasting system is ridiculous, unneeded, because fiber optics is much faster than sending it through the human body, at least at this point. So, there's not even a need for it. It's all just profit, really. So.
I keep thinking selenite is going to figure in the future.
It might. I have taken a little look.
It looks exactly like a tightly bundled fiber optics.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. That's how it works too. If you shine a light, this glows like crazy if you shine a light.
Well, it might have something to do with power generation in the future as well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Some interesting properties.
Mm-hmm. And when I drop it, I noticed it does have like little, it looks like fibers when it breaks apart.
Some crystals, when you put them under pressure, they will produce a small electrical charge. So that's the basis of piezoelectric, piezochromatic, and luminescent particles in your pineal is that when they receive a charge from outside or bump into each other, they produce a small electrical charge and either light or a connection. So, yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off now. Thanks for coming up, Angel. Good
Yeah.
to see you again. I'm sorry you lost your job, but
nice to see you
maybe it
again.
was a good thing, right?
Yeah. I think it was
Angel,
definitely a positive something.
Yeah.
Angel Wings, I'm having you on the show soon, okay?
Okay.
All right. Much love to you all.
Okay, baby.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.